Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would move to approve the agenda as amended to include changing agenda item 13 to discussion only.
Agenda item 13 being,
Update on Katucki case.
okay,
I'm okay with that.
meaning that's a second, or you're okay with the,
Are you moving to amend the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second that. I guess a motion to approve the agenda as amended to have item number 13 discussion only.
any discussion?
What are your thoughts, Rob?
It would involve a situation in which possibly a decision by the board might be necessary before making any kind of before making an motion.
We have the motion.
You have a motion.
You have a motion.
You're concerned.
What is the,
The concern is the potential of the motion to expose some aspect of the executive session, which is privileged attorney-client discussion.
huh? Okay.
Well, I would say we employ the attorney.
It's good. You got that part, okay.
Privilege is ours.
Well,
And I'm saying, retain that privilege to keep it private as intended.
We have touched on this, and there are concerns tabled first by myself, I think on June the 10th, that we did, if not actually transgress, come very transgressed, close to transgressing. The act, please let me finish.
Okay.
The inappropriate and bordering on a legal act, taking a decision in executive session. I cannot quote the statute, maybe Mr. Carroll can, but my clear recollection, which I'm on record as stating, dissenting in the minutes, electing to disapprove the minutes, is that executive session was used to obscure not one, but two decisions, specifically instructions to our law firm.
Okay.
This is not revealing legal strategy. This is not divulging executive session deliberations and processes. It is just highlighting my concern that we need to address a very serious concern.
Would be my response, that that's your opinion, which you have expressed well. But I disagree with it. And therefore I'm concerned that without appropriate discussion in the board, of the board, your opinion might take precedence over the majority of the board or the action of the board, whatever that may be.
So we received advice from our counsel saying that we could make a motion like this. And I've chosen to do that. So
this precise wording?
Not this precise wording. It was, they gave us a wording or something like that. So this is something like that. Maybe a little more specific, but it doesn't, but I would disagree.
I'm in particular concerned about I move to authorize the town attorney to defend the town against the April 9th open meeting law. And then following that is something that could be considered revealing. And hence I stated.
Following which, sorry, Rob?
So part of that motion mentions some of the indirectly, some of the substance of the meeting itself, which we should not be discussing in public. If it were reworded, it might be something I could get behind.
So what's your concern, Rob, specific? Can you just read out the bit you're concerned about?
This second half of the sentence, which I'm not reading out because I think it pertains potentially to the content of the executive session. It's not direct, but
Would you like to propose new wording?
for the motion? No, actually, I would not. I'd like to stick with my question, suggestion for the amended agenda.
Point of process, Mr. Chairman. The public has no idea what you're talking about. We can't see the motion you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Jan. Rob, can I just see your printed version so I'm making sure I've got the online?
Expecting a different version?
I'm
No, I just wanted to make sure. I'm not following.
I'm speaking about the agenda, not the motions.
Right.
So,
And I'm concerned about that agenda item because of the motion.
okay,
So my suggestion was we could discuss this, but I don't want to use that specific motion. And it's not quite at the time yet where we would discuss how that would be more carefully worded.
okay, I understand your position. We have a couple of people who are about to lose circulation in their arms. Would you like to?
Yeah.
Priscilla Vincent. I think you've just wasted several minutes worth of time because it says possible motion, which doesn't mean that you have to have a motion. And by the way, did everybody see the thing that came out about 2:30? An update from Chemo on the Katucki case, which kind of talked about some of the things there. But anyway, I don't know why you're arguing about this. Since it's just possible, doesn't mean you have to do it. Thank you.
Mary.
It's just a process question about how we come together to meet and what information that we have. So I appreciate your memos. They're informative. They state your position very nicely. They did come in really, really late.
They did.
They were not part of the packet. The public doesn't know what's in them. So I think I'm a little concerned about that.
Fair enough.
So the other thing is that we're down a person tonight.
That shouldn't matter. We
Well,
can still establish a quorum.
yes, we can meet. If we have a tie vote, I think it goes down.
Fails.
So it does affect our voting pattern. Also, we're missing another member who can add perspective and help us make a balanced decision. So just saying. But I think really the item before us is whether or not to, approve of Rob's motion.
I think the absence of a fifth select board member is irrelevant to this consideration.
All right. No, I understand your point.
Well, it's always better with five. I think you get the fifth perspective, but
We can't always control for,
No, I had some technical issues. The website had some technical issues. The documents are available on the updated packet that's been sent out, so they're all there.
but does that mean that any one of us could just send something in at the last minute and ask for an updated packet? I'm just saying.
I think we sometimes do that.
Yeah, usually, if I may speak. Since we're talking agenda items, and that has some relevance. Generally speaking, updated packets are from unusual circumstances outside control of the board. This not unusual circumstances outside of the control of the board.
Okay, well, I don't think there's any rule about that. And as the person responsible for putting the meeting together, I can tell you, it's been a very, very busy couple of weeks, hearing from lots of people with a lot of expertise. So yes, some of it was late. I apologize for that, but it's there. And we can talk about it, and this stuff is timely. And I would like to approve the agenda, and if we have an item that you don't want to discuss, I think when we get to that item, we can, or, I don't know, that's my own feeling. I'm just talking about the agenda. But we have another member of the public.
John Carroll. I just wonder if it mightn't be useful to, you're raising the question as to whether possibly something was done for protection of confidentiality and so forth. I'd like to just read to you what the state law says. Because, like, you don't have a choice about this. State law says no formal or binding action shall be taken in executive session. Formal binding, what the heck does that mean? It means that when you give somebody instructions and then they're going to go ahead and act on them, that's pretty much a formally binding action. Now, I have no idea what you might have done in executive session, but I can say that if you did anything like that, it has no standing in law.
Understood.
The only way that any instruction or direction to anybody, whether it's an attorney or anybody else, can have any binding effect under the law is in an open meeting before the people of the town. A warned open meeting. So the law says, no resolution, rule, regulation, appointment, or formal action shall be considered binding except as taken or made at an open public meeting. That's the law.
You feel certain, if I may say, that something did happen,
I'm not certain.
then I let it stand.
But
That we left the executive session with the feeling that appropriate actions had been taken.
I know you thought that they were appropriate. I have no doubt that you thought that, whatever those actions might have been.
Right.
But I'm just telling you, sir, that whatever action you think you ordered or directed or requested has no standing. And if the attorney proceeds on those illegal instructions, I think he has a problem ethically. And so it might be wise, if you have any doubts about the instructions you gave the attorney, and if you have any doubts about what the attorney might be doing at your request or direction, you might be wise to reconsider the message that might have been conveyed to that attorney.
Thank you. Okay. So
I stand on what
I understand.
yes.
No, I understand. I respect that very much. Is that end of discussion? Any further discussion from the public? Jan?
I would just support Priscilla and the
So,
group
Jan,
having the,
excuse me, could you
Yes.
state your name? Thank you.
Jan Lasprev, just speaking as a member of the public, I would support the board giving itself the ability to make a motion if you want to make a motion at the time of that agenda item. There is no reason to hamstring yourself now when you may want to take a decision in that agenda item. Why close the door on that? Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? So the motion is to approve the agenda with,
As amended.
as amended.
With item 13, agenda item 13 being limited to discussion
Okay,
as it stands. So that agenda item, remove that if, so that's my motion.
okay,
The last bit of discussion is during the discussion, if it's decided to make a motion, that's a different story, but the wording of it here, I don't care for.
okay.
So-
Well,
It does say possible motion in the agenda, right? As Priscilla pointed out.
yes.
And I'm assuming you don't want to strike the whole item.
No,
Well,
You just want to strike possible motion.
I need clarity on that because your motion says amended to include discussion only for number 13.
which is, agenda item 13 is update on Katucki case. Update is anything that we have found out, unrelated necessarily with the executive session.
Well, I prefer to pull the Band-Aid off and get this done. We're going to do this one day. I'm certain of that.
Yeah.
So I would prefer to do that and move on. So,
I do think it's the chairman's prerogative.
Well, we have to vote.
yeah, we have to vote. Okay, so let's vote for this approval of the agenda as modified.
Would you repeat the modification, please?
Change agenda item 13, move to approve the agenda as modified, to take agenda item 13 as a discussion item,
Discussion only.
discussion only item,
To omit the possible motion.
to omit the possible motion.
Let's vote. So that was moved by Gear, seconded by Layton. Let's vote. Clausen,
Nay.
Layton,
Yes.
yes. Gear,
Yes.
Sweat is not here. Griggs votes no.
So it fails.
So it fails. So we are not approving the agenda
Oh, no, we're just not approving that motion.
No, we're not approving the change.
as amended. Would anyone like to move to approve the agenda as presented?
I move to present the agenda, accept the agenda as presented.
I will second that.
Okay. So that is Clausen, Layton. Any discussion about that? Let's vote. Gear,
No.
Layton,
Yes.
Clausen,
Aye.
and No Sweat. Greg says a yes.
Pass.
All right, so we have an agenda. Thank you. Patience. Okay, number 3 is public comments for items not on the agenda. We have public discussion. Items not on the agenda. Chris, you have your hand up. Both hands. Chris Clement? We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, hi, Chemo. So I do have something, I have a comment for an item not on the agenda. And it concerns the transfer station. And for the last couple of years, I have voiced my concern about the health and safety of the employees up there. And I had the unfortunate experience today, and I'm sure hopefully some of you will have had the same experience, is the food bins were disgusting. I happened to witness a woman who had to open them up, and every single one of them was full. It was disgusting how they stank. And I am concerned with Jed's proximity to it. I have, even though I have been accused of complaining to OSHA, filing a complaint to OSHA, I never have, but I'm going to this time. In the what I'm going to advise you guys is, if you might want to take into consideration moving those food bins farther away from where the employees have to stand. Now, I'll give you some time if you guys want to take this up for consideration, but you've got another 2 weeks before you have another select board meeting. I don't know what your agenda looks like, and I know how this town does, how it works. So I'm just giving you a heads up that I'm going to file a complaint with OSHA, or VOSHA actually. If you want to have time, I know this is not an agenda item, and you guys might want to somehow work it out onto the next agenda and let me know. And I don't want to force your hands, but I would think our DPW director would have by now already recognized that the health and safety of the employees up there on a hot summer day is pretty gross. So if you want, I know we can't really discuss this right now, and I don't want to force your hand, but again, I have been well aware of the health and safety issues of the DPW employees, and today really was the last straw for me. So it's just a heads up. I don't want you guys to think that I'm doing this. I want to be very open about it. If somehow in this meeting you can say, yes, we'll look into it, sure. But I think VOSHA should be brought down.
So how is the transfer station managed? The solid waste committee weigh in on organization, or just through town manager? So, okay, just seemed like something you could, yeah, I mean, it's been hot, yeah, so it's, yeah, I understand, I've been there too.
Chemo, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I hear you, and there are other people here too.
Missed the July
Yeah.
4th, might have been festering through the
Yeah.
weekend too.
Yeah,
And they should have
Okay,
taken that
but-
into consideration of the health of and safety of the employees. They didn't. My only suggestion, if you guys want to consider it, is that there is no reason why those bins, and it would actually help the lines move a little bit better. Right when you come into the garbage collection area, the solid waste or the food waste, you have those 2 lanes. I could easily see them building, a small, wouldn't take much to put to construction in the right-hand lane and let people go to the right and do the food waste, and then keep the garbage on that side. But you cannot have employees standing next to that putrid smell and everything associated with it. So if you guys want to get back to me, I'll hold off notifying VOSHA, but otherwise I'm going to.
All right, no, we hear your concern loud and clear, and I think town manager will speak with DPW and see if there's something we can do, or, okay, yeah, thanks.
Great. Now, will I hear back from somebody before I notify them, or do you want to give it some time? I mean, I want to give you guys some time, but it generally
Well,
doesn't
I
happen.
think maybe write to the select board with concern, and we can work with the town manager to act on this.
I get
That
that,
makes
Kimo,
sense?
but you realize your next select board meeting isn't for 2 weeks. So the employees are going to be up there in that environment for another 2 weeks, and then action usually doesn't happen that quick.
Yeah, but actually, letters sent to select board members individually get read quickly. And if it goes in the packet, it gets read by everybody in the future, applies pressure all the way around and information, and would help us, I think, communicate the concerns to the town management to see if there isn't something that can be done.
Okay.
So I guess a little poke wouldn't hurt to us. But we hear you loud and clear, and, you know, I agree. So, okay,
Thanks, Kimo.
thank you.
Right.
Lily, you have your hand up.
Hi, I just wanted to remind the select board that they have until July 17th to submit any local articles to be added to the November ballot. I will be away next week for my third and final year of the New England Municipal Clerks Institute. So I will not be on email very often. If you intend to submit local articles, it would be great if you could just let me know that they're going to be on the ballot this week. And then I just need the verbiage for the article by August 3rd, so I can submit that to the state.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anticipate, I need to, thank you. All right. Yes. Yes.
Cheryl Lindbergh Lister. I would just like to give you and the public an update as to where we are and where we stand. As you may recall, the grievance deadline is tomorrow at 4:30 at our office, received by that time. Having said that, right now, as of the end of the day today, we have 39 requests to grieve. We have 14 written, 19 scheduled for hearings Friday, all day Friday, and then part of Monday. And we have 6 in limbo as to whether they're going to do an in-person or a written grievance, or maybe not at all. But we've heard from 6 additional. Today, we mailed an additional 5 change of assessment letters, and those 5 now need to have their own 14-day grievance request period. So that will end on July 23rd for those 5 additional letters only. And the deadline, like I said, is the 23rd. It'll be the same 4:30 p.m. And then we will provide them with a grievance period on Friday, the 24th of July, to, if they decide to grieve. Some may not. These are, a couple of these are solar, and they are solar that are of a size that do get taxed. This is not a personal solar. It is a commercial solar array. So that is what a couple of those are. And we don't always get direct knowledge of those from the state. We have to seek them out. We discovered one that was actually commissioned a couple years ago, and they have not come forward to us to indicate that they have been commissioned. So we're a couple years behind on getting that on the grand list. Another one did come forward this year as they should, and provided us with the information we needed.
Could I ask a question about the solar? So when you say it's commercial, does it mean that it's just a certain scale of solar, or it's used for commercial purposes, or what?
It's a certain size of a solar array, and it's utilized for more than one person or one location.
I see.
Yes, yep, it's not a personal one.
Not a
at someone's
personal one.
house. Correct, at all. We capture those in the inventory of a property, but it's not taxed. So it's zero on the card. So that's where we are with this step of the process. Anybody, I was going to switch just to another quick topic. Any other questions before I do? As listers, we get notifications of the education rates that are out. I don't know if any of you are aware, but the FY27 education tax rates are now available. The state issues those. You do not create those. You add the municipal rate to the education rates for a total rate. The state has issued a homestead tax rate for FY27 in Norwich of $1.3109 for the homestead, $15.29 for a non-homestead rate. And again, those will be added when you set the municipal rate to the municipal rate for a total tax rate. As a comparison, last year, these rates were about 10 cents higher. So the education rates for the next fiscal year will be down roughly 10 cents on each of those rates.
Sure.
The valuation of the properties or the grand list, has that gone up
Yes,
by an equivalent sort of amount so that it's a neutral effect, or is it costing people more?
I don't know if I can extrapolate a good answer for that, but we are up in the overall valuation, as I mentioned the last time when we filed the abstract, we are up. How that does or doesn't change through the grievance process will be something that we get to at the grand list lodging time, which we hope to continue to be done for the end of the month. And our goal is to have that available for the select board to set a tax rate, maybe the end of the last week of July, if that's something you all are able to fit into your schedules. So I don't know if I want to answer the question about how it's spread out over all the properties at this point in time, and try to keep it sort of where we're at, I guess, Bob, is best the way I could just say it.
It doesn't.
Okay.
You've got current use reductions, you've got some veteran exemptions that aren't big.
Will this stuff be written up in a report at some point? Or,
Well, your tax bill will all have these.
but you're not going to write something for a packet for us to look
I
at?
wasn't going to, but these things are coming hot off the press, like, daily to us, and we're filtering them into our work. So I wanted to just get it out to the public, some good news, that the education rates are down. I'm not sure I agree with how it was accomplished, but that's at the legislative level of our state. Others can agree or disagree.
Okay,
Thank you for letting me have a moment.
You're welcome.
All right.
Sure. Yes.
Not on the agenda, but might be soon, I would think. John Carroll, sorry. You'll recall that on 3 June, the board went into executive session on 2 occasions. At item 3 on the agenda, we went into executive session to discuss the so-called Katucki case, i.e. the lawsuit filed by Mr. Katucki. We came out of that executive session, and Mr. Sweat, I think speaking for the board, said that no action had been taken. At item 4, you went into executive session again and discussed, for the purposes of discussing the Katucki notice of violations, totally separate matter. And spent some time talking about that, came out and told us that no action was taken. Mr. Griggs made that statement. Inasmuch as you are discussing in some way at item 13 today, the discussion you had with your attorneys about the Katucki lawsuit, item 4, might seem appropriate, if not tonight, then sometime very soon, to discuss the conversation at item 3 concerning the notices of violations. If only because the public has no idea, from what we can tell, sitting on the outside, not privy to your conversations, so far you've done nothing to finish up the notice of violations. It's still standing out there unresolved. No disagreement on that, right? Still standing there, waiting to be completed. Mr. Katucki has granted you several extensions of the date that by law he's entitled to demand. And so far as we know, there's no action taken with regard to the lawsuit. You have until the 24th, I think it is, of July, to take action on the lawsuit, but so far you've taken none. No legal action. So we'll hear something tonight, perhaps, about what legal action you might like to take in connection with the lawsuit. I hope soon we'll hear something soon about what action you intend to bring to a conclusion the communications with Mr. Katucki in response to his notice of violations. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
All right, any other public comments? None, I think we can move on to item 4, approve the minutes. We've moved the approval of minutes up to the beginning at the request of Vice Chair Klassen. But we have energy. Are there any changes? Would anyone like to move to approve the minutes of
I'm happy, Mr. Chair, to
June 24th?
vote to approve the minutes of the Select Board meeting of June 24th, as presented.
Second.
All right, Klassen and Gear. Any discussion? No discussion. Great, let's vote. Klassen.
Aye.
Clayton.
Yes.
Gear.
Yes.
Sweat is not here, and I vote yes. Terrific. They are approved. Let's move on to committee appointments. We have a candidate here for the Recreation Council. Would you like to come and introduce yourself and tell us why on earth you would?
Hi, Elena Kennedy. Thanks for having me. I submitted my application to the Recreation Council. I've been attending the meetings since last September and happy to continue doing so in a more formal capacity if the board would allow me to do so. Would you like me to tell you do you have any questions?
You like baseball?
I've grown to appreciate the sport of baseball. I have 2 kids one just leaving Marion Cross, one's going into 5th grade. I also grew up in Norwich. Moved back about a year ago. I'm a user and an observer of recreation facilities.
And a participant in the meeting since October 25.
There you go.
Excellent. Proactive.
Any questions?
I'm good.
Thanks for showing up.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm willing to serve.
I want to point out, Elena was the inspiration organizer, chief bottle washer and everything for our very first opening day at Huntley Meadow at the start of the baseball season. I think there were 140, about a tenth of the town showed up.
Over 300 hot dogs served.
Oh, yes, right.
It was our only count for how many.
Metric again. Wow.
So, yeah, thank you for that. And,
Yeah.
that was the big difference, right? We started with that, we ended with a championship. So it's good.
So when we have the next celebration, you all can attend for the presentation of the banner.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I move to appoint Elena Kennedy to a seat on the Recreation Council for a term expiring March 31st, 2029.
Second.
Okay, Leighton. Here, any discussion? No discussion, let's vote. Clausen,
Aye.
Leighton,
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Sweatter's not here, and I'm a big yes. So
Thank you.
thanks, and we look forward to getting your letter, which you will sign and return, please.
Okay.
A lack of,
Thank you.
thanks very much. All right. Next on the agenda, town clerk spending request. It seemed pretty clear. We have a application to spend money to buy a marriage binder, $350, including shipping, roughly. So would anyone like to move that along?
I move to authorize the expenditure of $350 for the purchase and shipping of a new marriage binder to be paid from the Restoration Fund 45.
Second?
Second.
Here. All right, any discussion? None. Let's vote. Clausen,
Aye.
Leighton,
Yes.
Gear.
Yes.
No, Matt, and I'm a yes. Terrific. Review of forest fire prevention statute changes. This is a nice, long, interesting document, I thought.
And I believe our fire chief has already, stepped up to be the fire warden even before the big information dump.
Perhaps would the fire chief like to
Make remarks?
make remarks?
Sure. Good evening, everybody. So this is really a simple thing that the state did. Well, I guess maybe not so simple, but simple for us, and that doesn't really apply since Selectwoman Lane just mentioned that Town Norwich has the chief is the warden at this point, which is a good thing. Act 162 just essentially says that the fire chief who is appointed in the town shall be the warden. And that's right now the way it is in the law. We don't have to do anything. We already have that. One thing I will do soon is appoint a deputy warden, just so that there's somebody kind of minding the shop when I go on vacation or, am sick or whatever, which isn't often. So stand by for that. Otherwise, that's kind of short and sweet, really. Not much for us to do.
Short and sweet? Looks like 6 pages or something. No, that's great. All right. Thanks. Interesting
Okay.
reading.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
Would anyone like to, well, we don't need a motion for that. Let's move to number 8, Tracy Hall Outdoor Faucet. I put a little thing in. Carol Loveland sent a letter on May 20th on behalf of the Norwich Women's Club and Triangle Garden crew. I'd like to see if we can move that along by authorizing the town manager to solicit bids. It seemed to me there are 3 things to do. I assume this is basically having a plumber come in and tell us what could be done. One would be reconnecting the hose bibs near the main stair. Second would be for installing a hose bib on the outside of Tracy Hall to the north of the main entry if possible, so that the hose would not cross the entry to Tracy.
Would it be the south of it,
Isn't that-
towards Hanover, or the east? Yeah, I mean, if you're facing the door, would it be on the right?
That would be the south.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I incorrectly, yes, so that should be the south
right.
of the entry. Yes, toward the sun, so as to reduce dripping haps. Thanks for that, picking it up. The other would be to investigate the possibility and potential cost of placing a yard hydrant in the triangle itself or adjacent to the fence in the town green, which I assume would be a conversation with the water folks to see. They may have lines already running under the street. I don't know. I know there was a line that went to the old water fountain, which was operable not too long ago. So you wonder if there isn't some way to connect up to that, whether that would, I don't know, get Yes, Mary.
I appreciate all the thought that's gone into the three options that you have thought of. I have a different idea. There is an operational faucet right out there, which I tested because I used to use it for the rummage sale, so it's
Yeah.
pretty familiar with that. I think you could stage your hose there. What they make these days are collapsible hoses. They're extremely lightweight. And when they don't have water in them, they go and they end up in this little bundle.
Yeah.
And then when they're full of water, they elongate and you're all set to do your watering. So my idea would be to regroup out here and get a flexible hose and maybe get a couple traffic cones for that little Church Street connection and just have it be a more low-key solution.
Yeah. So I think they've used that faucet and they found that that's, they just wondered, could we get one closer? I thought, well, maybe we could ask.
I reviewed their hose tonight too. I can see why they're, dragging hoses around is hard work. Hot weather, it's not the ideal thing to do, but I think if they switch out their hose, they could either keep it the way they are, but then they're gonna have the problem of it stretching across the access to Tracy Hall. But if they relocate here and put their hose thing there,
Yeah.
and it's in the shade, you can run it up the side of the building and scoot it across the road, get a couple traffic cones. So I would recommend that. I think that would be a simpler, more cost-effective solution.
What would cost anything?
Well, yeah, I think you'd have to invest in a new hose, but I think you can go to Walmart and get that for not much.
Okay. Town manager has it.
So I had a couple thoughts as well, maybe similar to Mary's. So I think the issue, if I understand it, is that the hose is difficult for the women who are maintaining that triangle garden to move. And it's not necessarily the faucet doesn't work on this side. It's a matter of the hose is too heavy to move across the road. So I went out, did it twice to make sure I was correct here. I walked off, paced off how far it is to get from the north side of Tracy Hall where their hose is currently versus where the closest faucet that doesn't work, and we confirmed hasn't worked for a long time. And it's about 10 to 12 feet difference. So it's not a significant difference there. Even if that faucet was working, they still have an issue of a heavy hose dragging that across, trying to get it into that garden. So I have a suggestion, and I'll pass this around, and we can even put this into the packet for the next meeting so people that are able to view it. But these are this is on sale when I pulled this up. This is like $100, and it's a hose that has a wheel that allows it to be very easily pulled out off the wheel and then reeled back in on the wheel. So that could be a very simple, cost-effective solution that I'd be willing to drive down to West Lebanon tomorrow and purchase for the benefit of the town and the garden. If there is a tripping hazard concern, and again, that hose is only out there for maybe an hour at a time.
Yeah.
It's a hose flat against the cement. So I'm not sure there's a viable concern there. But we could also purchase, at the same time, an outdoor mat that you could place over the hose when it's in use on that cement's, walkway into Tracy Hall. So there was no concern that somebody was gonna catch their toe on the hose. So again, there are many solutions probably, but I think this could be a very cost-effective, easily implemented solution that would solve the problem, which again, I don't think is that the faucet doesn't work. I think it's that the hose that the faucet's attached to is heavy and cumbersome for these volunteers to move.
Okay, could be. I mean, what they requested was that we see if we could get a faucet that was closer to the triangle. So I'm just responding to that. And I guess I wonder if we could maybe just get someone in to tell us whether that would be possible. They've offered to pay for it.
Yeah, I think it is possible. Like, certainly anything is possible. we have determined, as I said at the last meeting, that faucet has not been operational for maybe 25 or 30 years.
Yeah.
So whatever we do, it's going to be something new. We're going to have to replumb that to get it to faucet. And again, I think we're talking about 12 feet of benefit in the distance between that faucet, should we spend money or they spend money to get it working, and the faucet that we know works very effectively from the other side of the hall.
Well, okay, it seems like more than that. I mean, okay, I'm
I
sorry.
based it on, I mean, it's not scientific, but it was about 20 steps to get from here to the edge of the road, and it was about 16 steps to get from that spot, which was about the center of the garden, to the faucet that doesn't work on the side of the building.
It doesn't work on the side of the building.
Three
Okay.
per step. And
Yeah.
it's-
So I guess my question is, could we get a faucet that is closer?
It could be 10 feet closer. We could spend thousands
Or
of
maybe
dollars to
more.
get it 10 feet closer.
They've offered to pay for it, so it wouldn't cost anything. But I'm just wondering if that's something we could, I mean, that's what they asked for. And maybe if they knew the cost and they could see the hose, they'd say, well, actually, the hose is just fine. But I'm inclined to try to do what somebody asked for.
It says-
They know their job, they know their, but maybe not. I'm sorry, Priscilla.
Priscilla Vincent. To me, this is sort of emblematic of some of the problems we have with town government. It's been 7 weeks, apparently, since the Women's Club asked for this. I don't know why the select board should have to, I mean, there's been some splendid ideas put out there tonight, but it seems to me this is something that the town manager should have simply figured out what to do and done it. And then maybe, I mean, because he has authority to spend small amounts of money like this, and then just reported back to the select board, and it, you know, maybe could have been done in a week or two instead of 7 weeks and taking up however much time it has of all of you.
Good point. What's your spending limit authority?
What are you talking about?
What are you able to spend?
Policy.
Thousands of dollars, certainly $100 on those can be spent.
Bit of faucet? As Priscilla suggests.
Yes.
I reread the minutes here and I read the letter from back in May. What we were not tasked with fix this problem and get us a working faucet. We were asked to look into, is this something that is operational or not? So I am now today suggesting if we want for the rest of the summer to have a more easy access to the water that would not require moving the hose, we can make that happen tomorrow.
Yeah. But I mean,
That would be my suggestion.
yeah, and I think that's a great suggestion personally, but I think it's also maybe okay to get a plumber in to tell us if it's possible. And as a long-term thing that would, I don't know, they may not want to pay for that once they get the new hose. Yes, Mary.
I'd like to move to direct the town manager to buy a hose reel to help the women's club with their garden. That's a motion.
Second.
Discussion? Wasn't warned, but I think we can go ahead with this.
Motions aren't warned. The agenda is warned, not the
That's true.
motion.
It's the agenda item. Let's vote. Clausen,
Aye.
Layton,
Yes,
here.
Yes.
Sweat's not here, and I'm a yes on that.
okay.
I personally would still like to see if we could get an outdoor faucet. Is that a possibility? It seems like it might. I don't think it costs us anything to get a plumber in to give us a,
You could move that and see what
Yeah.
happens.
well, I'm asking if anybody wants to move it.
I do not. I like the hose reel solution.
Well, we could do both. We could do both.
Well, we could do
All right,
just
so move to authorize the town manager to solicit bids for reconnecting the hose bibs into the main stair, installing a new hose bib on the outside Tracy Hall and investigate possibility and potential cost of placing a yard hydrant in the trust itself or adjacent to the fence on the town green. Would anyone like to second?
I'm happy to second that.
Any discussion?
Do we want to set any kind of a limit as to how much to spend to find out? Plumbers don't usually come for free.
Plumbers always come free for me. I mean, I think
You're a lucky guy.
they come and they give me an estimate. Well,
Were you saying the quote would cost something?
No, but if you put out a quote,
right, the ladies have agreed to pay for this. This is a no cost. We have a motion. It's been seconded. Okay, so now we're discussing it.
right. One of the finer points of policy is we have a policy for accepting gifts, which would be what the
Yes.
club would be giving to the town. One of the reasons we have that policy is to find out, to determine whether or not there are additional costs to receiving that gift that the town maybe doesn't want to take advantage of or take responsibility for. Plumbing work has the potential for causing a lot of damage. I got no problem with getting it an estimate, but be aware that if it's a very expensive thing, it's more, we have to apply the policy to it.
Sure.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah. I don't think these are, all right, yes.
So just to follow up with Ralph's concern there, I think he's right that we have a gift policy where we would accept a donation from the Women's Club if they were willing to provide that for a certain amount of money for a certain project. And we would probably go through that process before we started to solicit bids for a project. And if we are following our procurement policy, I think it would be more complex than just one plumber, hey, can you come out and look at this and tell us how much? I think we would have to get multiple bids and follow our policies.
Yes, you would solicit bids. Write it up and let people come in if they want to.
Mr. Chair?
Maybe they wouldn't.
I noticed Carol Loveland further noted that the Women's Club had donated to the town previously and could contribute if finances were the issue. Did the gift concern come up on those occasions?
No, I don't know.
It seems like there's a precedent that's.
The gift policy.
There has been precedent.
That helps you, Brendan. It's the gift policy that's currently on this year.
Okay. Well, we're getting off track here. Why don't we vote? We have the motion. It's been proposed and seconded. Let's go ahead and vote. Klassen,
Aye.
Clayton.
Nope.
Gear. And Greg. So we just voted to not solicit bids for hose bids. Terrific. Move on. Town expense and reimbursement policy discussion.
Actually, Mr. Chair, before you move on, are you soliciting any further conversation on the faucet?
No. Failed vote. We're done.
We're done.
We're moving on. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we didn't discuss item 3, but anyway, another time.
Yeah. Okay, we have a town expense and reimbursement policy.
Okay.
It's long. It came out of, what was the concern that this is addressing? Just to get conversation started.
I think some time ago, about 2 months, I'd proposed in a memo to the select board that we take a look at policies in general, given that that's our primary Bailiwick is this forum, and I think I crazily volunteered to do finance and expense and reimbursement from my recollection. Suggestion was somewhat enthusiastically accepted. And after several false starts, I've managed to produce one draft policy.
Why were we looking for a expense and reimbursement policy? Why did that come up? It came up for specific reasons.
Yeah, I think
It didn't just come out of,
Cheryl Lindbergh had sent an email about an expense claim that to me looked like we could have done with a policy to support a few inconsistencies. So she sent it to the whole select board, I think. Is this correct? Yes.
all right.
So I think that was the genesis of it.
And we don't currently have a policy.
I looked in the finance policy and there was nothing about reimbursement and expense claims. And
Yes, yeah.
well, I'll finish my preamble here. So I'd thought that, my own personal experience in my career, did a lot of business travel. So I was fairly familiar with travel and expense. So that's why I took a shot at that one first. And I just thought that, applying some of the standard, protocols, signing authorities, checks and balances, signature lines, these types of things, just sort of tightening the whole thing up. And it just looked like we didn't have anything in the policies that I could find on the website. Now, there could have been something squirreling away that I didn't find, but I couldn't see anything.
Okay, yes, Mary.
I support having a policy for this area. I think it's very well written. There was one question on page 35 of the packet. It's under B, special provisions.
Yeah.
Just that it says state employees.
Thank you, Mary. You're not the only eagle-eyed reviewer to spot that discrepancy. That should read town employees.
Okay, I wonder, because this would not apply to.
With full disclosure, I lifted this with complete plagiarism from the State of Vermont Agency of Administration website, bulletin number 3.4, Employee Travel and Expense Policy.
Okay, so it's a state
So
policy. Did you change it at all?
I've changed it. I've put in some more town relevant things, but I've largely gone on the skeleton of the State of Vermont, AOA, as they call themselves.
And I think that's a typical process for us to develop policy. We often have started with templates from the VLCT, for instance, so.
They didn't have one, so I used
They
this one.
use this
Yeah.
one. I think that's
Yeah.
very good. Chairman Griggs, could I ask a question of the town manager?
Yes, by all means.
Brennan, does this look like a workable policy to you, and do you see any concerns?
So my initial review, I think, I'm always looking at what problem are we solving here with this policy? Because we have a fairly consistent procedure as far as how we deal with expenditure, expense reimbursements for anyone who's traveling. Very similar to what is in this document as far as authorizations. We do not have any specific dollar amounts put in there for like meals or overnight stays. But I work for the state, I follow this, I travel with them, familiar with this. I was curious, and the reason I raised my hand earlier was, Cheryl, did you send me the concerning expense reimbursement?
I did not.
So I might be interested in seeing that if you're willing to send that to me.
I'll let your employers and your select board choose to do that.
So you sent something as treasurer?
I sent something as the treasurer of the town, for the town of Norwich, to the board, the other elected officials, and I expressed my concern to them.
Okay, so if anyone on the select board would be interested in forwarding that, if everyone received it, I would be curious to see what that specific concern was. That would understand a little more about what we're doing here.
Certainly one,
Can I finish? So the question I have, I guess, is in what you've written, Brendan, you are asking all elected officials to have any kind of reimbursement signed off on by the town manager, if I read that correctly, which has been far from how this has worked in the past. And I guess I'm not sure of all the elected officials who I have no other authority over, and that's been made very clear many a time, are willing to submit to that. Yeah, giving the authority to approve or not approve expenses that they've incurred. I can see some potential tension there. I had suggested, again, as a first read, that we were gonna finally get this out, and I was going to bring this to the department heads. We'll be meeting next week, and I have a couple folks that are gonna be in and out on vacation. So I would like to do that. I'd like to share this document, obviously it's public at this point, and then solicit some feedback from folks that have direct reports that are traveling and reporting to them for authorizations and signatures, and just get some general feedback on that before going a whole lot further. But I would expect by maybe the first meeting in August, so it's not next meeting, but the meeting after that, we could have either a red line version or some specific bullet point comments that we could share back with the board.
yeah, I think, yeah, that's great, Brennan. Honestly, in my own personal experience, my sole experience with travel and expense policies has been one of compliance, not authorship. So this is the first one I've ever tried to write. I've mostly been reading them and complying with them. So I've kind of gone a little bit on that. Probably the only real substantive modifications I made to what I got straight from the AOA website was the little table of claimants versus supervisors and approvers, and the amounts for meals, which I just cherry picked. And if the department heads want to adjust those amounts for meals, absolutely fine. I don't travel for meals, so I don't know. These people do. That's a great suggestion. There's a couple of little typos. Thanks, Mary. You're very good at typos. The state employee, that's of course wrong. But the other one that could be a bit contentious is that I brought to this the concept that everyone's got to report to somebody. So I noticed, Brennan, on the expense report that you'd filled out, that you'd signed off on your own expense report. So you're the claimant and the approver. And that kind of presented to me an inherent conflict of interest. And there's no accusation here, it's just an inherent conflict of interest. And the ethics training that we are obligated to take as select board elected officials stresses not just conflict of interest, but the appearance of conflict of interest is to be addressed in our day-to-day operations and comportment. So,
Well, conflict of interest has a very specific definition, which is not related to.
well, if you take it as you read, so a conflict of interest, you could theoretically reimburse yourself for more than what you spent. And the independent signing authority.
Well, you can't really, because you have a receipt that goes with your.
Yep.
Plan. So the process. So I'd like to answer Mary's question, actually, if she would. So you had asked, how is this working, I believe, currently, right? So we have a procedure that we follow where receipts are required. We have a form that people fill out. They have to code their expenses by whatever expense it's going against. And then the signature of the authorizing person would be a department head for a direct report to them, a signature of the manager for department head, and as Brendan mentioned, I do sign off on my own as kind of the top of the pyramid.
You do report to the select board.
Of course, right.
Top of the pyramid?
As far as the expense reports go, right? Yes.
Hence the policy, which is our.
I have no interest in arguing with you tonight, Brendan, so I'm just gonna.
This shouldn't be difficult. This is a policy that we're charged with responsibility for doing.
Policy either, Brendan. I told you I'd be happy to take this forward.
Okay, Mary.
It does bother me a little, Brennan, that you would be signing off on your own expense report. So I kind of would like to give some more thought to those being signed by the select board chair. I don't know what to think about the elected town officials, because I think if you look at the chart, we're kind of level with them. I don't know what's appropriate there, but like any time that you, that I've ever had to count money, like at church or the rummage sale and things like that, you always have two people. And I think that's a great way to know you've got a person and, you know, you've got two witnesses to an event that involves money. So maybe with elected town officials, two witnesses or something like that. Or even with town manager, another person who witnesses it, treasurer or something like that. So.
I did think treasurer, thank you. I thought of it.
Right, but I think,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't, it's just one of those things. It's like, I don't think anything would happen, but what's a good practice?
Yeah.
What practice to engage in, so.
For the last line of the table, I was a bit in doubt as to what to put, and everyone has to answer to somebody. So we're elected officials. Just say you go to a VLCT training and you have gas mileage up to Montpellier, right? Who signs off on your Uber trip map or whatever you, private car, Google Maps, and your gas mileage? Should that be Brennan, who's overseeing our town budget? Should it be Kimo, who's your chair? Should it be Cheryl?
Just come out of our stipend?
Correct. Maybe we're not eligible for expenses. I did contentiously suggest that, and I'm prepared to modify that. I know that ruffled a few feathers, and I'm happy to acknowledge that. I just put it out there as a talking point. We do get a stipend, Mary, you're right. We get $500, $10 a week. Hardly breaking the bank, but I agree with you in the sense that I've been to Montpellier a couple of times and I just eat the gas. I don't care.
Right.
It's not a big deal. Right. And it's discretionary. That's my choice to go.
Yeah, but
I'm not made to do
this
training.
is workplace.
Yeah. So that,
This is workplace.
my experience
arrangements.
doesn't intersect with this, I think. But if Lily is going off for town clerk training, or Cheryl's got a lister thing, or then it's a different scenario, right? Because they're sort of compelled.
But I also think that, to me, a department employee having to have the head of the department sign off is appropriate. That's the supervisor, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and I think the select board chair is like, yes, but it's also a little awkward because it might be a lot of different little forms and chasing somebody down. And then the elected town officials, I don't know, I think you need a different system. I think you just need a witness, some kind of witness to it.
To anyone.
Two signatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even a subordinate.
Well, yeah, well, maybe not, that might put a subordinate in a weird place. I don't know if I do that, but some different arrangement.
So elected town officials have budgets. They have to follow their budgets, and the treasurer is looking over their shoulder at all times, correct? You see what comes in and goes out, and
A step forward because I'd rather, acknowledge my presence as treasurer. When the process comes to you with expenses on these warrants at your meetings and you've been provided with those warrants, I'm not certain that you have seen all the backup documentation that comes with it to me. So when I sign the checks that you've approved for payment, then I see the documentation accompanying it. I can look one last time for a possible error. And believe me, throughout the state of Vermont and treasurers I've spoken with, there are errors. So before I sign a check, I look at invoices and make sure if there's 5 invoices being paid, there's no transposition errors, they're the right numbers. And that's what I do when I sign off on checks. In that process, I have found errors and I have communicated them back to the finance office. You've already approved a warrant with those items, but they might be pulled and you never know that. So while what I would like to say is having procedures in place is great, but where's the policy telling you how to create the procedures that people should follow? And I think the policy needs to exist. That's your job. Again, I've brought this up before. You still don't have a public records request policy. There are other policies missing. Until you have a policy, how can you implement procedures? Because who knows how to follow something? I've never seen a procedure to follow for reimbursements. I know there's 2 forms. I've been at it a while, but what about new people? And what about the people that don't follow the procedures and use the correct forms when they submit it? So those are some of the things where the policy can eliminate that confusion or lack of understanding.
So if you're looking at the document that's in the packet, are you calling it a policy or a procedure? Or both?
If I'm looking at
The thing that we're looking at here.
it's a policy.
Okay.
So from the policy, once it's finalized, procedures then can be implemented to.
Want to make sure that.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's important to have policies.
Yeah, Michelle's looking downstream.
Also, that procedures can be present just because there's a need. Like our town manager has a procedure for dealing with expenditures. That's the difference. But this is, a more formal policy arrangement.
So, town
I
manager.
was just going to make very clear that I am not in any way opposed to creating a policy for expense reimbursements, okay? I just want that to be very clear. I think we can take this and we can, as I said, have this reviewed by the folks that are using it on a daily basis. I also just want to make it very clear that the procedures that we have are tight and are controlled. So we have a finance director, we have finance staff. Anything that gets submitted for reimbursement, this isn't like people are counting cash and maybe somebody pockets a 20, right? We have a receipt that says employee X traveled and bought a lunch. That gets submitted. The amount of the lunch gets reimbursed to the employee after they have paid for it themselves. So it's a very tight and controlled process that is in place. There's no we don't need a witness to say, oh, geez, I'm concerned that you didn't really buy a $25 cheeseburger. It's not possible under the current procedures that we have. But as I said, we can look at this as a policy. It's certainly been vetted by the state, which is helpful. And I'd love to come back in August with comments as I get them from folks that are using this and from the finance office. Right?
Okay, so how much time do we all think we need for review on this and comments?
On the screen.
Oh, Lily, yes.
Mute Lily.
Is she there?
There she is.
I'm
There,
sorry.
she's-
Yes, hang on. Let me grab my notes. Brendan, as I'm sure you're aware, I'm wondering what the deal is with elected officials here, because the first paragraph says elected officials are not eligible for expense reimbursement. I have my own budget. I have a training budget. I don't really need to go to the town manager to have him approve my training, since, as you've correctly identified, he's not the one who would sign off on that. Mary, to answer your question, as an elected official, I report to the electorate, right? Every 3 years, they can decide if I've spent my money wisely, and they can either elect me or not elect me again. I take issue with the fact that you seem to be cutting elected officials out of this entirely, Brendan. And in particular, I think you would probably want to have some more granularity in terms of elected officials. The policy for the Selectboard may need to be very different from the policy for the town clerk's office. Again, I have my training budget. I travel for training, and I don't think it's realistic that I seek approval beforehand for that. And I would also argue.
Can I add something? I think this was meant as a first stab. It wasn't meant to be 100% correct, certainly wasn't meant to offend anybody. We don't have a policy now. It seemed like a good idea to have a policy, and our hope is to hear back from everyone, including you, about how to make this fit. So I understand it doesn't fit you now, and it probably doesn't fit other people perfectly. So we're going to review it, comment on it, get feedback, and then incorporate that.
And what is my
We're not
right
trying
for
to-
comments? If department heads are giving their comments to Brennan, should I just write to the select board directly?
Yes,
Yes, that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
please, Lily, yes.
In detail.
Lily, I do apologize. This is perhaps reflective of my very inexperience in this select board. Certainly, I've never been through a budget cycle, so I don't even know how you set your budget. I know you have a budget now, thank you very much. I didn't think you didn't have one, but I didn't know. It's true that a town clerk is a very different elected official bucket than the select board members. Responsibilities, compensation, direct reports, appointed people, very different. So this is a learning experience for me. So any feedback you can give me will make this a better policy. So thank you.
I will happily redline your document.
Great.
A question.
Yeah, Mary.
So maybe another way of thinking of this is that it's for town employees and not elected officials, or not?
Yeah.
I mean, just leave elected officials out of this? I'm a devil's advocate here.
Good question.
It's
Well,
good.
except that, sorry.
Go.
I mean, the finance department is who processes our reimbursements, right? It's not fair to them to have multiple, I can't just drop off a wrinkly receipt with the finance department and expect reimbursement. I fill out the same forms that town employees fill out to get reimbursed. It's just a little more murky on who signs off on that. So I do think there should be a procedure, a policy for this, and that it would encompass elected officials. We're not exempt from asking for reimbursements and having to conform to however the finance office would like to see the reimbursements. It's simply an issue of who has the authority to sign off on it with us.
Okay, thank you.
Interesting. Yes.
Cheryl Lindbergh as two elected official positions, I would agree with what Lily has said. It's good to have the policy, it's good to have guidance. It's good for us to have something to read, to follow. We've got forms that you included in the packet. One is for mileage, one is for expense. You're gonna go somewhere and travel, you fill out the mileage one. You're gonna, if you're at a conference and you reimburse for your motel or hotel, you use the other one. So it clearly gives you a way to request your reimbursement. And I think if the elected officials are budgeting for their training and all, that's it. So agreed. I've already said to Brendan myself that I wasn't fully agreeing with his policy. So he knows my position, and I'll send it to the select board.
It would be great.
Yep.
Thank you.
This is a working document and it will only improve.
It's a draft. Working with a draft.
We're leaky draft.
No. Drafts are not perfect.
It's a start.
So
Okay.
Iterative.
so we might expect
Feedback.
to review this again in 2 weeks, a month.
I think August 1st was Brennan's suggestion for the feedback from his departments.
Well,
Right.
First meeting.
Well, we can,
So we'll aim for the first meeting in August to maybe revisit this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
with department feedback and elected officials' feedback collated.
Yeah,
That would be good to get all the feedback.
all right.
Please send to the select board your red line versions. Thanks, Lily.
All right. Let's move on to item 10, opioid fund uses. Seems very clear and good, and really appreciate your reaching out to, the town manager reaching out to the organizations that we've identified, the Second Wind Foundation, Upper Valley Turning Point, and Good Neighbors Health Clinic. I don't know if anybody, well, does anybody want to move this? It seems like a good idea.
I move to authorize the town manager to distribute two payments of $16,000 each. Okay, now that sounds a little odd, because that's that two 16,000 to each, is that 32,000?
Two payments, each $16,000.
Each $16,000. I think we should, I'm going to amend my motion to put each before the $16,000. So I'm going to start again. It just makes more sense to me. I move to authorize the town manager to distribute two payments each of $16,000 to Second Wind Foundation, Upper Valley Turning Point, and Good Neighbors Health Clinic from the Opioid Settlement Fund. Did I mess it up?
That sounds like two payments each.
Okay.
One of them gets two payments. So why don't we just say distribute payments?
Take the two.
Just take distribute payments of $16,000.
Yeah, that's better.
Each, yeah, two, we'll eliminate the each. Distribute payments of $16,000 to Second Wind Foundation, Upper Valley Turning Point, and Good Neighbors Health Clinic from the Opioid Settlement Fund 56. That's fine. I rewrote that sentence 4 or 5 times thinking, okay, now that makes sense. Apparently
So
not.
I'm going to say it again as I just heard you say it. Sorry, this is for our new note taker. This is tiresome, but we'll try to get it right. Move to authorize the town manager to distribute payments of $16,000 to the Second Wind Foundation, Upper Valley Turning Point, and Good Neighbors Health Clinic from the Opioid Settlement Fund 56. Is that the way you said it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good with that.
We have a second.
Second.
Here. Any discussion? I think this is nice. I'm sorry Matt's not here to see this happening. I know it's been a concern of his and an interest. Let's go ahead and vote. Clausen.
Aye.
Clayton.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Matt's not here, and I'm a yes. Thank you, Brennan, for managing this.
With another thank you
Nice and clean.
to Mr. Katucki, who nudged us because we sort of left that fund and didn't do anything for several years. So he did some good nudging on that.
All right, number 11, the Energy Efficiency Initiative, discussion only. Do we have anyone?
Harry.
Where is? Oh, there you are. Mr. Falconer, would you like to give us some highlights or?
Certainly, yeah. I think Brennan asked me to appear here just to kind of give an update on the last memo I had sent dated 6 June. I updated that and it should be in your packet tonight. I've met with Brennan and my colleague Ari a couple times over the past few weeks to talk about how to move forward with this. We've made some good progress on updating the municipal greenhouse gas inventory at your direction. So we have gotten a fully updated equipment inventory now and some mileage data from the DPW. And we're also working through the town's electric bills. We're still looking to get heating fuel bills from the finance department. I understand there's a bit of transition going on in that department now, so we're looking to get those within a month or so once they're settled in. And then we should have pretty much everything we need. Something that I suggested to Brennan and I included in this memo was once we have the fully updated equipment inventory, including the police department and fire department, maybe I can make a short list of, equipment, whether that be, zero-turn mowers, light-duty trucks and vehicles, things like that, that are slated for replacement between now and over the next 2 years, and run kind of a cost comparison for replacing basically like for like and potentially replacing those with electric models. And Brennan suggested, a comparison of performance. So run time, how many hours you can get off of a single charge, that type of thing. purchase price and operating costs between those two options for that equipment that's slated to for replacement. So I'd like to go ahead and do that. I don't know if you need to motion necessarily for that, but I'd like to present that to you sometime in the next couple months if possible.
Okay, yes.
I'd like to thank Harry and Brennan for that's a lot of work to have gotten done, and it's very pleasing to see that we're gonna keep on top of it and have some sense of best way to spend money on equipment going forward.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just trying to keep the momentum basically. But yeah, once we have the fuel data as well, we're also hoping, and this is on the memo as well, to have a clear picture of what has been saved, both in terms of dollars and emissions from installing the condensing propane boilers at Tracy Hall. Now that we have a full winter's worth of data on that, obviously it was a very, very cold winter, but we can normalize that using heating degree days and things like that. So we should have a clear picture of how it stacks up against the previous boilers and see how what you saved.
I have
Mary.
I appreciate that you're looking at the run times for the electric devices. You switch from gas lawnmower to electric and find that it's slower, more tedious, a lot of battery swapping. And it might not be true for more of a commercial grade vehicle or device, but I do think that it's important for management to know. Also, if you're way out, all of our roads kind of go way out and they don't connect anymore at the top. So you've got to go all the way out and all the way back somehow on a charge. So that kind of data I think will be very good to have. And I appreciate that you guys thought of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure the DPW wants to know what the actual performance specs are and how they stack up since they're using them all day.
I have one more follow-up question. Chairman Griggs?
Yes, please.
This is just a personal query of mine. Just wondering about housing electric vehicles and fire safety, that when they do burn, they're pretty hard to put out. So if there's any industry practice coming up, whether it's they're housed in some flame-proof shed or something like that, or what is the actual possibility? Is it like getting struck by lightning so you don't have to worry about it so much? But it's just something I'm kind of interested in.
Yeah, I don't
We did
really.
have a car burn up in the parking lot across the street there, so it's actually happened in Norwich.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that specifically. I don't think the towns in the vicinity that use electrical equipment like this are necessarily housing them in any particular type of
Different
enclosure.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, my understanding is that most fires with vehicles, period, have to do with collisions. So I don't know what the likelihood of that is or whatever, but
Yep.
yeah. And we did we submitted Brent and I submitted a pre-application of the Charge Vermont program for the public safety building, combined police and fire station. That was also something that Chief Northern was interested in. So that's a grant program run by the state that provides grants to install EV charging infrastructure at workplaces and multifamily housing. So in this case, it would be a workplace, obviously, but the idea there was that it would both be for the use of the employees of that building, but also to kind of future-proof the building for potentially having electric police cruisers or a electric fire command vehicle, which Chief Northern had also reached out to me about, and we spoke about a couple weeks ago, because I guess he's in the market for replacing his fire command vehicle within the next however long. I'm not sure if Brennan knows, but
This year.
this year, yeah.
Is that what you wanted to mention?
It was.
Yeah, okay, great. He took all the credit, sorry. Okay, any other questions? Next steps are going to be to hear back more on this.
Yep, I
Yes.
hope to have the completed greenhouse gas inventory certainly by the end of the quarter at the very latest, just depending on the timeline of when we get the rest of that data that we need. And then, yeah, hoping to have that equipment inventory shortlist within a month or two, also just depending on when we get that data.
Great. All right. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you all.
Communications. I had discussed a proposal to allow real-time access to packet materials during our last session, and a possible contact list in Tracy Hall on the website. So I've got a couple of proposals here. Wondered if anybody would like to move these. The motion includes 3 options. They aren't the only 3 options I would consider, but it seemed like worth looking at. Proposal A being to include access to all items as soon as an item is received. B would be to include that same access, but allow select board members and our citizens to request a notification. So you'd get an email if you wanted to, when something came in, for example. And the third one to include that access, the potential for automatic notification, and the ability to attach notes related to an item. I don't know if this is possible or not, but if somebody reads a letter and wants to provide support or have comment on it directly, I'd be interested if that's even possible. Yes.
I was gonna comment generally, but I think specifically to that, I would have great concern that you open meeting concerns there. If individual select board members are responding back and everyone's looking at them at the same time, I
was thinking
that one proposal specifically seems.
Yeah, I was thinking people from the public who saw a letter and, oh, I'd like to support that. I don't know if it's even possible, but it seemed like maybe worth asking.
So just on a general, I think I fully understand your idea here is to be able to see things prior to them going into the packet and getting posted on Friday afternoon. And I think it is probably possible to figure out a way to create a Dropbox within the town manager's staff purview where they get things and they place things. I think and I'll just go back a little further. We've had this same conversation probably at least a half dozen, maybe 10 times in my 3.5-year tenure about how do people want to know when people have submitted something to the packet. And it's always come down to we should all see this information at the same time and have a chance to discuss it before individual select board members reach out or take action. So that has been the history behind this. And Mary and Rob, when you were on the board, it was sure tenure for you when I came on. But to me, that had always been an obstacle of trying to get real-time public comments to select board members outside of a published packet that everybody got to see and discuss. So I put that out there, just I think you're probably aware of that, but what you're asking for here is different because it is going to allow individual select board members to see things before other board members, and potentially, if they so chose, to act and respond to those same messages individually and not as a board.
Yes, but that's also the case when the packet comes out.
But in the receipt of correspondence policy, it's very clear that everybody gets to see it and it's discussed as possible agenda items. And then if it's a decision of the majority of the board to take an action, to put it on an agenda, to do something with it, they make that decision as a body, not as potentially an individual who says, well, I'm really interested in that concern. I'm gonna go out and look at it and talk to you and converse on what options might be, because that's an individual action versus body action.
Yes. No, I understand the concern. I guess I don't have that same concern personally, but I understand what you're saying. Mary,
What he said.
okay,
I would agree, Mike.
okay. So,
That particular one with comments is troublesome, but it would be some variation of being able to see them quickly as they come in. My thought is, come in, a copy is made, dumped into a public folder.
Mhm.
And then the question would be, can, as in your B, can get notified in a quick enough, convenient enough way that we can get a chance to jump on that if we have the time.
So the concern is if we prematurely violate OML by engaging in discussions before, too soon.
It's potentially more.
And this has come up in previous select boards. So Brennan, how does it currently work?
So we've done a number of times, and the policy is very clear, that a submission comes in, if it's received before noon on Thursday, prior to the select board meeting, a notice goes out to the sender that says this is gonna be in the next select board meeting agenda, and then it's posted on Friday. If it comes in on cycle, it goes into the next packet.
Noon Thursday, okay.
So the longest time someone would have, if they submitted something Thursday afternoon, and they would get a notice that it's afternoon, after 12 p.m., they would get a notice that said, we received your correspondence, and it will be in the packet of whatever.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. So when it lands in the inbox, who gets pinged and who monitors the inbox?
So the select board at inbox goes to Miranda and Britta in the office. Right. Occasionally, we will have individuals who will send that to the select board app so that it appears in the packet. And they also will send it to the individual select board members' email addresses.
That's happened, yeah.
You've seen that happen before.
So when do you see it?
I see it usually on Friday when packets come out.
So Miranda and Britta see it straight away? Thursday at noon, okay.
They usually review the packet with staff before it gets posted. If it's something critical or bonds, I'm often on those, so it's to me and the select board as the town manager.
Right.
Obviously, I'm seeing that earlier.
So, one of the problems, I wonder if this is part of the issue with, in the lead up to these meetings, we seem to be so rushed with last minute motions, last minute memos, last minute. Is this going to help the last minute problem that we've been struggling with? Notwithstanding our new computer, Mr. Chair.
well, my hope would be that we can be more responsive. If something comes in on a Monday, and it looks like something that we might want on the agenda that Wednesday, when we set the agenda, we've shortened the time frame by a few weeks. We can be responsive to something. For example, if somebody today wrote a letter about the the conditions at the
Transfer station.
transfer station, that might be something you want to jump on. And we currently don't have that capability.
Wouldn't that be a town manager responsibility to jump on that, though, as a supervisor out there?
Yeah.
Well, the town manager has just told us he doesn't look at them until the packet comes out.
No, but I mean, if a citizen is concerned about the employee welfare at the transfer station, which it sounds like there was definitely a
Yeah,
very smelly problem.
yeah.
Being able to communicate with the town manager is a more direct way to do that and appropriate.
Possibly. I mean, they seem interested in talking to the select board. I encourage people to write us a letter. Having a letter in the packet really helps.
But if it's a critical health issue, it's probably the quickest and most appropriate route would be the town manager.
Well, that might be. Maybe I chose the wrong thing. There are, I don't see how it could hurt to see letters sooner. We know that we're not allowed to communicate in certain ways, whether we see it on Monday or Friday. If you see it on Friday, you've still got a weekend plus a few days before the select board meeting. If you were inclined to communicate with people in an inappropriate way, you could do it at that time. So I don't see that communication issues are affected, but I do see that our response time could be reduced, and we could have more time to review things and collect information so that we can be a little more responsive. I think many people on the select board have told me they get the packet late in the week for the weekend. They often can't look at it until a Monday, sometimes a Tuesday, really take it all in. And suddenly, yes, things get to be a little rushed. If you could look at it as they came in, it seems to me you could absorb it or slowly see if the things you want to research.
Yeah, if I may. They don't get to see it till Monday or Tuesday, so it gets rushed. But accepting stuff that didn't exist before Monday and Tuesday is okay. I thought I heard you say that if something came in on a Monday that seemed important, we would be able to see that and react to it on the Wednesday of the meeting.
You might be able to put it on the agenda.
But we would be too rushed, might be a bit rushed if we look at the packet on Monday or Tuesday, is what you just said a second ago.
I think that's what some people have told me they find themselves doing now.
And that's perhaps troublesome. What I'm getting at is having a cutoff, possibly at Thursday noon, gives enough time for people on Friday to see and digest what the correspondence is.
Okay, my experience that I just said was that people have told me they don't have the time because it comes in on Friday as they're preparing to leave, they have a busy weekend, they don't get around to looking at it until the Monday before the meeting.
A week before is fine, but I'm just saying, it sounded like you were saying, if something comes in on Monday, there might be an expectation that it would be dealt with on a Wednesday, that an agenda item might pop up 24 hours in advance of the meeting.
No, the Monday before, we set
Okay,
agenda
that's-
a week before.
That's different.
So we don't see the letters.
If we see stuff coming in prior to that Thursday noon that's coming into the packet,
Yeah,
that's fine. I think that's a good idea.
yeah, hard to see how it would hurt anything to me.
Right, but the way you mentioned it, you mentioned Mondays without differentiating the Monday before the meeting
Okay.
or the week
Yeah,
before.
well, I apologize. I'm not a great communicator. We set the agenda on a Wednesday a week before our meeting. I don't see any of the documents when I'm setting the agenda.
Right.
And I think I would like to see documents in many cases before the agenda. In some cases, it might affect how I set the agenda. Now, I'm told that documents have come in, but I don't get to see them.
Right.
So that's all. I mean, it gives more time for research, more time to reach out to people to, prepare for the meeting and things like that. That's all I'm thinking. Also, I think the public, they get the packet, also at a busy time of the week, heading into the weekend. And if they could see things that they came in, they might have a chance to get together, warn one another, support one another. I'm just guessing. Maybe it doesn't work. And certainly if this, turns out to be a disaster, we change back.
I think having a cutoff at that appropriate time is fine. And then I would like to see, I have no problem, I think, with seeing things as they come in prior to that cutoff point.
Yes,
And considering them for the next meeting, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
One place I struggled, and still being fairly new, can't use that excuse much longer, is that I've often had not enough time to go through all the content and the AP warrants. And the AP warrants have kind of not suffered through me ignoring them, but I've had to come in here and say, what are these 13 light items that say uniform $1,500, uniform $2,600, and Cheryl pipes up, oh, that's cleaning the police and fire uniforms. Perfect, great. But that's a waste of her time and a waste of your time, because I should have known that ahead of time with more time to review everything.
I don't think you would have known it without asking someone who knows how to answer.
But I would have known to ask before the meeting and not wasted time in it.
Oh, I see, because you can't ask.
Well,
All right.
at the same time, that illustrates the point for the members of the public who are watching. So, I mean, I don't think, I'm not saying that having some advanced awareness of it, but it could, just happens to be probably a good thing for people to understand what those things are if they read the AP warrant themselves anyways.
Yeah. But I'd find it really helpful if I could just get through a lot of the two rivers Ottaquiche or the culvert or the speeding signs or whatever else, the police, the fire warden district thing. And then I can apply more time to the AP warrants when that does come in. When do we see the AP warrants? Not until the packet's released, right?
The actual warrant, yeah.
So we're never going to see those ahead of Thursday.
Or the signature page, we don't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we won't see the AP warrants.
Maybe not.
When they compile,
But the more stuff we see ahead of time, excluding AP warrants, would be very helpful.
gives you more. Look at the AP warrants.
Thank you, Rob.
There you go.
We have a public comment.
Priscilla Vincent. Just a suggestion. I think it would, having been on the board, be very helpful to be able to see stuff as it comes in, but have a very strict policy that you cannot reply. It's like, it isn't just don't reply, I'll just don't reply. Do not communicate with each other. I don't know why you couldn't do that. I mean, if you want to reach out to somebody who sent it, say, tell me more, that's fine, but you can't talk to each other. You could do that. The other thing is, and I personally find this a little annoying, we had 3 very fine pieces come in at 2:30 this afternoon that were added to the packet. They were very good thoughts. When I read them, I was pleased, but it's like, where's your deadline?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you've been having a very busy period, but that kind of thing is like, where's your deadline? If it comes in 4 hours before the meeting.
Yeah.
And that may be underlying some of this, but yeah.
Fair point, yeah.
We discussed that last meeting,
We discussed it this meeting.
the 24-hour embargo, right?
Well,
That was flagged.
Yeah.
during agenda setting, we don't have to do it again.
Fair enough. Okay, so would anyone like to move this?
Couldn't move all of it. It's really 3 different motions.
Well, using proposals allowing real-time access. And then what type of proposals? I'm really just looking, what options do we have? We could just say, produce proposals allowing real-time access to the select board and the public.
Rob, I kind of interrupted you.
Comment, yes.
So, again, just listening to the conversation, I'm getting the feeling that at least the majority of the board would like to see some sort of a publicly viewing Dropbox set up that would be as correspondence comes in, it's placed there and that's publicly accessed. So not only select board members, but members of the public can all see what was submitted for correspondence.
Has to be that way. We are not allowed to see stuff before the public
I know,
does.
so not disagree. So that said, if there's a motion to that effect, we can certainly, I think, in your memo, you were saying you'd like the town manager's office to explore those options.
Yeah.
Or come back at the next meeting and say, here's how this could work. We can set a Dropbox up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Address it would have, and if the board would like to vote at that point to move forward with that option, that would be maybe a separate
Yes.
motion to employ that.
It would be.
Okay.
We,
That's certainly.
I'm just asking that we charge you with looking into it.
But do we need to move that? Asking him to look into it. We've given him some direction as to options. and
Certainly doesn't
might
hurt. Doesn't hurt.
be- Okay.
Mr. Chair, may I make a suggestion? The first sentence in the motion looks perfect for that purpose.
Of a,
No, the first sentence.
The first sentence, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
Okay,
wait.
And leave it at that, just the first sentence. Would you like me to move the motion?
if you'd like to move motion, I welcome it.
I move to request town manager produce proposals allowing real-time access to the select board and the public simultaneously, of course, to documents that will be included in select board packets. End.
Second.
All right, any discussion? No discussion, let's vote. Klassen,
Aye.
Clayton,
Yes.
here.
Yes.
No, Sweat, and Griggs is terrific. 13 or 12B, sorry. Contact list and Tracy Hall on the website. It was interesting to me that when I was looking at the packet, there was, I've lost it, of course. There was in the, I think, TRRC package, you notice they gave information for their different town or state officials and so on. Was it TROC? No, maybe it wasn't. Oh, shoot. Now I'm going to have to look it back. But there was it seemed to me like there was information about how you would contact your state representative with their email or phone number, just sort of general employee information that felt like maybe a model of what we might want to provide.
If I may.
Yeah.
Adjust. Staff members, not saying employees, but staff members.
Okay.
Employees sounds a little
Okay.
too directly personal.
Okay, yes, here it is. Like on page 25 of the packet, you have the Wildland Fire at Vermont Gov. Contact Dan Dillner, phone number, email, what counties, a little bit of information. And that seemed like a reasonable amount of information to have available to people who want to get in touch with their.
So you're suggesting a directory for our website?
Yeah.
Maybe a directory.
Yeah, there is sort of directory for at least some, if you dig into it, but it's not right up front. It's not obvious. And there's nothing here. We don't have the names. For example, you go up to the offices, there's nobody's name on the door, right? It says, I think it just says town manager, right? Or it says planning and I'm surprised this is so.
Well, I think of the airport, like the airport has wayfinding, so you can find the luggage, you find the bathroom, this and that. So I think you're talking about wayfinding. But I'm just trying to imagine it with Tracy Hall. And part of it is just, you describe how you just open the door and welcome to your staircase. You know what I mean? It's just that space in itself is so awkward. And then, you get to the appropriate signage, you somehow have to explore a little bit, Like the whole thing is really pretty messed up. As an experience.
I think that would be a working group.
So I think some,
Should be a working group.
so design could happen, but before the design happens, you want to know what information should we have available to someone who visits Tracy Hall?
But it should be 911 situations. That was in your,
No.
it's like, oh, my car broke down. I want to run inside and find the town manager to help me with my car. The tree fell over, it's like, I'll
DPW.
911 for that stuff, but
Okay,
I think the purpose for which you come in is also important. So,
yes.
I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm struggling with how to do it, whether to do it.
A staff directory, I think sounds just fine.
Yeah, for the website, I could see that.
With, if we get too granular, for instance, extensions, phone numbers. Should it be the town extension? Or
Probably.
should it be their individual office extension?
Well, I would ask that the town manager produce a proposal for us based on what he feels is
Excellent.
appropriate.
I could do that tonight if you're interested.
There you go.
I understand, Kimo, I understand your intent here. When you walk into the main entrance of Tracy Hall, which let's assume that's where the majority of people that don't know where they're gonna go. I think most people that live in Norwich have been here long enough to know, okay, here's Tracy Hall, but there's certainly people that walk in and they still, don't know. So there is a directory that tells you the town manager's office is on the second floor, the planning office and the rec department are on the third floor, the clerk's office, finance office are on the lower floor. I guess I'm trying to understand, Kimo, would you like people's names to be on that same?
I would think that's appropriate.
So the town manager's name is Brennan Duffy. If you walk in and you're looking for the town manager and you didn't know that, you now know that. Or staff is Miranda and Britta in that office. That's easy to do. Like if the
Yes,
board
I think
feels
it
like
is.
that's something we should just do, we could do that.
I think it should be one of those glass frame things with the black background and the white letters that you can pop in, because we have turnover of staff.
We do. I'm thinking.
You wouldn't want to.
I'm thinking of using the existing directory that's there and embellishing that with names. As far as like a staff directory on the website, we could do that and have something ready for the next meeting. We could just do that. Like that is easy. So the town manager's office.
I think it is.
People, the rec director, I think it should be emails and work extensions so people can
Could be.
call.
Sure.
I don't think it should be cell phones where people could get calls that they don't need after work hours necessarily.
Well, why don't we make this request and you'll come back to us?
Do you want me to come back at the next meeting with a more formal?
Yeah, that's all
That's great.
it's not meant to be a complicated thing, but it sounded like something that someone like to move this.
I don't need to move that.
All right, I'm going to move that we request the town manager produce a proposal for what information might be provided on signage in Tracy Hall on our website that we can then design a solution around. The proposal will be presented back to the Selectboard by when? Next meeting?
Next meeting or maybe August, I'm not sure what that.
Okay.
Why don't we say August so I can get a little more.
Okay. Would anyone like to second?
I will second that.
Any discussion? Right. Lassen.
Aye.
Clayton.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's not here, and I'm a yes. Terrific. Thank you. Appreciate that. Update on the Katucki. It was late, it's true, but I did include something in the packet. I know there was great discomfort among some members of the select board after the meeting on June 3rd. It's been difficult because I can't speak to more than one person to assess exactly why the discomfort existed or what might be done to alleviate that discomfort. I've spoken to a number of people outside of the select board for advice, and I feel very strongly that we did not act in the way that we should have by stating that no action had been taken. And I would like to repair what I feel is a sort of a blemish on our actions. So I'm proposing that we move to instruct the town council to file with the court a motion for summary judgment where the court disallows elements of Mr. Katucki's complaint. This would verify actions that we might have taken during the
Last statement bothers me greatly.
Well, I'm content to do that.
And it's entirely acceptable to direct by board action the attorneys to pursue whatever it is you said. But I feel we left that meeting correctly. We took some care to try and make sure that we left that meeting correctly, not to delude the public. I don't believe that to be the case. But I think we did what we were required to do legally.
Well, we have a disagreement there.
Right.
We went in to get information. We did more than get information. I think that's a fair statement we can all agree on. We did more than get information.
We got information. I won't agree with you that we did more than that. And I can't get into it without discussing the finer points of what happened during that meeting. That's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Unless we take some action.
Well, let me say this. At some point, we're going to have to approve the payment of legal bills.
That's fine.
How do I explain what those legal bills are for?
We've received information as to what Mr. Katucki is doing legally. We have received information on what options we have. We can, in public session, say what they are, or at the very least, what we think we should do, and vote on it that way.
We haven't done that.
We haven't done it, but that needs to be done in public. And I think it needs to be restricted to acting on information that we have not acted on previously.
But my question is, how do I explain to a member of the public that we have a legal bill that we have not approved, we did not approve the work? Why do we have that legal bill? We never approved any work by our lawyers. Why do we have that legal bill? Where did that come from?
In what circumstances have we done that as a normal matter of Of course, a normal manner of doing business. And lawyers who are working specifically to take care of the town's legal business. They have, at some point, they were hired to do that.
At some point, they are our lawyers. We hire them. We have not taken action to do that in public.
So let's do.
I agree. We should do that. That is what I'm asking.
No, you are saying we should admit an error and take action. I don't believe you believe differently, maybe
Yeah.
Brendan believes differently. We left that meeting with agreement. Now, whether you have second thoughts about that, they were apparently strongly expressed, but I don't want to speak to that.
Yes.
Mr. Chair. I remember something Mary told us that might shed some light on this. And it was regarding, and correct me if I'm wrong here, in a previous experience with the same law firm, and you actually commended them for their prowess and help in solving
Union negotiations.
the union negotiations. Thank you. I forgot the exact term. And you said that you had an executive session and strategy and
Many of them.
ideas were discussed.
Right.
And then you said the law firm dictated to you as chair, I believe, a specific statement to make in public when you exited executive session.
The union negotiations are in a very different context. So
Yeah.
they're not shared with the public until they're done. So that's a whole different.
There was an interim statement made, wasn't there? I remember you told me this. You said something like,
No, it might have been about some other legal action that we took, but in the union negotiations, those stay private until it's all worked out. I mean, it
there
has
was
to.
one public statement issued about this. But anyway, it's an example I was hoping to use to illustrate it. So I think the problem here, Rob, is that, and I've got this, our conversations held in executive sessions confidential from VLCT. So these are guidelines for select board members. And it says, clearly, conversations in executive session should stay in executive session. So this is, I think, where you're coming from, right?
Yes.
Right, okay. So the conundrum comes, when does a conversation become overreach into an action or a decision or an instruction or a assertive decision to spend money? When does a conversation mature into those downstream consequential financial commitments? And I believe on June 3rd, we crossed that Rubicon.
Let's say hypothetically that we did. For instance, hypothetically, maybe there was a straw vote or something, right? So it's also about how you say you took the action, because part of trying to be discreet about what the strategy is you don't want to reveal your strategy legally, right? So it does matter how you would indicate that you took action, and you might have to be somewhat vague about it. Like we asked the lawyers to proceed with an action in the Katucki case, which is extremely vague, right? So rather than to say what it actually was, the specifics of it. So I think that's what's really tricky about it. I think that's
Just because it's tricky, it doesn't mean you can say no action was taken as a get out of jail free.
No, I think that's
what we
very
did
good-
wrong.
That's a good point, but it's also, you got to be very conscious that, and I think you have a good test. It's like, and chemo is going to cost some money. Yeah, because when the lawyer do something, it costs it costs money, but it does come out of whatever our decisions are about what would be best for the town in our judgment, you know, just working it out. So I think coming out of that, we might have said the lawyers are continuing to work under our direction on the Katucki case, which doesn't tell you anything, but at least it is saying, yes, that we, you know what I mean? It's a very hard thing to parse sometimes.
But I think also we're getting so far down a rabbit hole here. If we,
I dislike the rabbit hole, yes.
okay, good.
All do.
Especially in the gardens.
Well, this is our garden, so.
I think if we pull back to the original, the fundamental tenet of this case, we have a resident citizen taxpayer of the town who made a fair and reasonable public records request.
I don't think we need to relitigate everything about this, though.
We do either.
But
Yeah, I don't.
the
think
fact
we're
remains,
because it's really that executive session that we were
yeah.
talking about.
So
And our.
bearing this in mind, that we're not allowed to make binding decisions in these meetings. And my recollection is distinctly legal strategy decisions were made and instructions were issued. I'm not going to say what the legal strategy was, because that would be inappropriate, Rob. Conversations, but a decision with financial ramifications was made. Two decisions. One was quite a strategic one, and one had financial ramifications. And I can go in that room with you and tell you the two figures that I have, the range, but I can't say it out here. But my assertion in the June 10th minutes was that I do not want to be sitting in this forum approving an AP warrant of a cost that was authorized in that June 3rd executive session to do something. Because then I'm concealing material from the public. We can't do that.
Yeah, I know we've been in executive sessions before, and I remember we have sort of taken a straw vote as a way of determining, are we ready to go back out in the public to make a motion about something, not to hide what we just did. We're done, now we're ready to go back out and make a motion.
Or a statement.
Or a statement. But we haven't done that.
In this case, you're saying.
Yeah.
Or have not done it adequately, because to come out and say no action.
Is in my mind, that is not, it's not accurate. And
it is misleading. And quite frankly, according to statute, it's illegal.
so,
Well, I mean, maybe we
I'm
could.
sorry, we're stuck with statute. We swore an oath of office.
Right.
We can't cherry pick statute. We obey it. Mr. Duffy, can you please come and sit here in the public chair when you want to make a comment?
it would be,
It would be helpful.
Why?
Please.
yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
join us, the way everybody else joins us.
I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm going to move a table over there permanently so that I don't have my materials in front of me. If you'd like me at this.
Okay, don't come over here, fine. Speak from there. Thank you.
Okay, so I would suggest that the town re-engage with our attorneys, because you're talking about legal issues for attorneys in that executive session, and they will tell you the correct way of doing this, as opposed to spending hours debating what could or could not have been done. I think that would be my recommendation to the board, to invite an attorney to come in to the next meeting.
All right, we appreciate that. Yes.
In open session?
In open session, well, I mean, we've gotten advice from you before, which is why we're sitting here now talking about this.
So we're
We
still.
got bad advice, in my view. Yes, John. And they have subsequently told us that we should make this motion. We can make this motion. So,
Use the right terminology. We can make this, or we should make this.
yes, I
There
correct.
is a-
I correct.
They are
We
totally-
can make this motion. We can make this motion if we're uncomfortable. So, Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm John Carroll. I didn't understand as I was moving. Make what motion? In the executive session or in public?
In public.
Where there's so much here. This is not like a private legal matter. It's perfectly understandable if one is being sued by a neighbor for damaging their property, to wish to keep that matter private. And it's going to go to court and the attorneys are going to argue about it. And it's totally appropriate that you should speak with your attorney in private. This ain't a private place. The law is so clear that everything that you do, that is to say, every decision, every hint or guidance that you give to an attorney, every not objecting when he proposes something, whatever, however it works, has to be public. The decisions must be public. It's just no getting around this. It's not like home. And I have no idea what exactly happened, though I've inferred, as you can see from what I've written, that something different other than what you said happened did happen. I don't know what it was, but some kind of action happened because an attorney, as a result of that conversation, has proceeded with certain actions which could be only authorized by his client. If that attorney is proceeding with the actions that, from talking with people who might be involved on the other side, would have to have been approved by the client. Or that attorney is acting illegally because he's acting without the client's consent. After all, you call the shots with the attorney. He suggests what you do. You say no to that, yes to this. Your word is the word. So if he is doing anything, it is because you have given him that, either you've given him that authority by saying okay to what he suggested, or he's acting illegally and violating his oath of violating ethics of his office, which is, I'm quite sure, and mind you, I'm not an attorney, I'm quite sure that an attorney is not allowed to take action saying it is on behalf of the client when the client has not given that approval. So it's one or the other. Either he's breaking the ethical rules, or he encouraged you to do so. Mr. Duffy suggests that you should bring in the attorney to advise you. Opinion of a non-lawyer who's watching this fairly closely is that you are getting really crummy advice from your attorney. Your attorney has, just stay with me on this minute. You have acknowledged that you have violated the law in several instances in response to Mr. Katucki's lawsuit. Patently, obviously violated the law. You've agreed to that. Did your attorney ever speak up to advise you not to do that? He has sat by with his hands in his pockets, or whatever, and not spoken up and advised you that a careful reading of the law would say, don't do that. So, by the way, as your town manager, this has gone on for years. You have been getting either bad advice or very inadequate advice from your attorney. If your attorney sits in that meeting and in any way encourages you to make a decision, he's encouraging you to break the law. It's convenient for him, but it's not good for you. And it's definitely not good for this town. I'll just wrap up that the decision that you might consider making, the motion was suggested that you would, I think, direct the attorney to seek a summary judgment. Did I hear this correctly? That the summary judgment would seek to dismiss elements of Mr. Katucki's suit. Well, first of all, if that's what he thinks he's supposed to do, is that what the townspeople want you to do? Who knows? You haven't asked. You haven't given them a chance to speak about this. Because you haven't. Let me back up. You guys can agree to whatever you want in town meeting. It's not, you have to come out of the meeting and say, this is what we want to do. You talk about attorney-client privilege. All of this is public. Whatever he sends to the judge will be public. In minutes, people will say, who told you to do that? People in this town, I think, will be understandably outraged that a citizen of this town would be stonewalled by a bunch of technicalities. The technicalities being the so-called exemptions that the attorney and Mr. Duffy have talked about. Pardon me. Exemptions in law that you use to justify redactions and retaining of documents. The exemptions that they have claimed, there's one of them listed in the Public Records Act, 317, parens 17. And it's something called interdepartmental communications. It's very hard to understand what it says. But that's one of the exemptions that's been repeatedly relied upon to hold back documents. Another one, the other two are not mentioned at all in the Public Records Act. Mentioned at all in Public Records Act. They are what's called common law privileges. One is called the legislative privilege. The other is called the deliberative process privilege. I'm sorry, I'm overrunning my time and I apologize. I want to remind you that the redaction of these documents and withholding of documents that pertain to what happened in January, when by your own admission, an illegal chain quorum was conducted. It's pretty hard to go ahead and tell the people of this town that you want to withhold documents which demonstrate clearly that your board, not this particular board, but the preceding board, violated the law. How embarrassing. The law is very clear. You may not withhold documents just because it's embarrassing. One other thing, finally, the Vermont League of Citizen Towns, you got to stop and read what they're recommending to you. You're making this stuff up on your own. Vermont League of Citizen Towns says, while there are many possible exemptions, 44 of them to be precise, and the two more that Mr. Smith came up with, the Vermont Supreme Court has made clear that exemptions are strictly construed against the custodian. That means you better prove it that is inherently needed or required. And it says any doubt as to whether an exemption applies must be resolved in favor of disclosure. So you've got a whole bunch of stuff that's been withheld from Mr. Katucki's view. And if you approve what I'm hearing something about, you're basically telling the town, any of you folks who want to ask a question that might embarrass any of us, we'll find a way to stop you from seeing the documents. That's what's happened here.
Thanks.
Thank you, John.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chair, if I may, please. Again, I'm returning to the VLCT guidance on executive sessions. And they give an example about a municipality being in the midst of a contract negotiation, which is sensitive and runs a risk of disclosure. And it points out that in this instance, premature public knowledge of the subject would place the municipality at a substantial disadvantage by potentially costing taxpayers thousands of dollars. So that's an example where information is correctly and rightly kept in camera.
That's a good clear cut one too.
That's a clear cut one.
It's
Now,
easy to understand.
my concern is the year-to-date expenditure with Stitzel, Page and Fletcher, legal counsel for the town, on this case and this case alone. To the exclusion of all others, the total expenditure year-to-date on this case, the last 5 months of invoices, is $13,610.75. I'll read that again for Zelda, $13,610.75. It took me 6 weeks to get those invoices, but I got them. I didn't go to the finance officer. I didn't harass Mrs. Rosalinda. I waited until the deliberative process worked its way through and we got the invoices. And I now disclose them to the people who put me in this chair.
Okay. Yes.
Priscilla Vincent, there seems to be a desire to focus on what happened or didn't happen in the executive sessions. But it seems to me the desire for us as a town is to do something about Mr. Katucki's complaints, and we don't seem to be making much progress on that. And it's been quite a while that it's been going on. And as, you know, I kind of read the summaries, the way legal counsel Brian Smith and town manager Brendan Duffy have interacted with each other to stonewall, to obfuscate, to redact, that's putting the town in a very bad position legally and financially. And to me, reading through that behavior, that would be grounds for dismissal for both of them, for just cause, for really inappropriate action that worked against the town. And they did not really, perhaps, tell all of you what they were doing. But can we just resolve Mr. Katucki's problem instead of fussing about the executive session? I mean, he's supposed to have a cure. Your deadline is the 24th or something. I forget when your next meeting is, 22nd. I mean, you guys are running out of time and you've had a lot of extensions and there's just this tremendous reluctance to do it. You've already admitted you violated the law. And since I was part of the things that happened at the time, I fully agree, we violated the law. So let's do the cure, a real cure, instead of, oh, we thought we cured something before, but we seem to be in the same bad pattern, and we seem to keep going into executive sessions that were perhaps unnecessary, spending a lot of time in them, and come out and say, oh, nothing happened. Please resolve Mr. Katucki's case, please.
Any other comments? All right. Would anyone like to move?
Yes. Mr. Chair, we do have two issues to address here.
Yes, there are two motions, in item 13.
I have just one here.
It's interesting.
Well, we can accommodate, we can work it around. Show me.
These are the ones that I updated.
All right, I'll read from yours then. This should be pretty straightforward.
I don't know.
Sometime after you send out.
They did come out today.
Well, they're very similar and they're basically a version of the same thing. Let me read the motion.
Yep.
And then we have discussion and then we vote on it.
Yes.
I move to instruct the town council to file with the court a motion for summary judgment wherein the court disallows elements of Mr. Katucki's 4 May 2026 filing complaint in Katucki versus Town of Norwich.
I second the motion. Discussion, yes.
I wonder if it wouldn't be simpler so as not to get into this stuff about what we said or what we didn't say in executive session and all that, to simply have a motion that directs the chair to communicate with you on behalf of the board, directs the chair to communicate on behalf of the board that in the possibility that the attorney, to clarify for the attorney that the board has not approved any action on his part, on the part of the attorney, in connection with the Katucki lawsuit or the Katucki notice of violation. You did talk about both of those. Remember, item 3 on the 3rd of June was about the lawsuit, and item 4 was about the notice of violations. And if there was some misunderstanding and the attorney thought, gee, I think they want me to do this, what they talked about and so forth, maybe it would be enough right now to simply say there is no direction from the town. If you thought there was, there isn't. We have yet to have a public discussion about how we shall respond to Mr. Katucki's lawsuit, and we have yet to reach a conclusion on that. Because you can't keep talking about this in private. You gotta let the public see what you wanted to do. And what you want to do is to tell him you want to stiffen. Stiffen. You want it done. Say, you're not getting half of what you're asking for because we got some rules that we can pull out and blah, blah, blah. By the way, the statute's very clear that you do not have to apply exemptions of that sort. If they are applied, it's on you that it happened. It's not on him. You're allowing him to do it. But you are the ones who said, no, we're going to use these rules to keep you from seeing what we've been up to. It's you.
Yeah, I don't believe we ever decided that.
So all I'm suggesting is that a simple thing might be to be, don't reinvent whatever conversations might have happened. It might suffice to simply be very clear with the public and with him that you've come to no conclusions about what should yet be done about either of these cases.
Mr. Glassen.
Would you be happy to undertake that commitment?
Of course. But we have a motion, we have a second.
And it needs to take no action.
Shall I reread the motion with modifications?
Well, reread the motion, though. You have a motion on the table that was seconded. I want to hear that one.
Withdraw it and redo a new motion.
Could withdraw
Go through the proper procedure to change it.
I withdraw it
I think.
and propose the new motion as per John Carroll's suggestion.
I withdraw my second.
I withdraw the motion I just read out.
Is somebody making it? And I also rescinded my
Okay,
second.
let's make a new motion. I'm going to write it as I read it. I move to instruct the Select Board Chair, Briggs, to instruct Town Council to cease all legal action regarding all aspects of the Katucki notification of OML violation and the PRA lawsuit filed with Windsor Superior Court on 4th of May 2026.
All right, I'll second that.
Would anybody like me to read it again?
No. Thank you.
Discussion. Yes, Chris. State your name.
Am I on mute or can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Um,
State your name first, please.
oh yeah, Chris Clement. So this is a little out of the box suggestion, but I'm sensing there is some question about the town's attorney. And I don't know, I do know VLCT offers some legal guidance and counseling. So I'm not sure if you guys have actually sought any kind of counseling from VLCT. And I don't know who would actually make the phone call if you guys actually made a motion to have chemo reach out to VLCT. If VLCT can't help you with this, I mean, I would think that they'd be a good advocate in this particular situation. That perhaps you guys should just get a second opinion from another attorney. Chemo's been talking to some other people. I don't know who he's been speaking with, but it seems that perhaps a second opinion is warranted. But again, I don't know if the town would want to engage with another attorney. That's why I would suggest speaking with VLCT counsel.
Chris, I've spoken and written to VLCT because we have engaged counsel. They have to defer to their opinion.
Wasn't sure about that.
Questions that I've asked at any rate.
Is there any reason why you can't get a second opinion from another attorney?
Well, I suppose I could hire one personally to give me an opinion on what they think about something. I would ask them, but I would have to get the select board, I think, to agree to get a second opinion.
Right.
Mr.
No, it's too bad that VLCT can't chime in, but I do understand.
Yes.
So, Chris, I very much value your suggestion. It's a little bit out of the box. Thank you. It's a good descriptor before you told us about it. We are the people's elected representative of this town. I am far more in favor of government by the people, through us, as their representative, as opposed to government by law firm.
I agree. I just wish we could get there.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah. The sad thing, of course, is that nobody's really done anything very wrong. We've behaved in ways that we could do better. We'd like to do better. But the actual material that we're talking about is like nothing. I mean, there's nothing there. We're just arguing about arguing. And it's getting expensive, and I want to move on to getting other things done. So this is why I'm making the motions I made. I will second your motion, but if there's no more discussion, we can vote.
Again, I offer to reread it, if anybody would like it.
I think I heard it. I'm a little concerned that we're being sued by a sophisticated attorney, and we would be choosing to go into the rest of our interaction with this person without the benefit of any legal counsel.
Well, we still have counsel, we're just saying stop right now. Like, maybe we redirect. We have a citizen who's asking for some public information. That's it. The only reason being sued was because an offer that we made, that I think most of us thought was a negotiation tactic, turned out to be a final offer. That was not decided by us. I'm not saying that it was irresponsible. I'm just saying that is what happened, and that led to a lawsuit. So I think if you just satisfy the original, and or go back to negotiating, find out what level we need to get to in order to provide the documentation in a manner that is acceptable to that person, it's done. We don't like that. I can't tell if it's professional, whether it's real concerns that if we allow this kind of access, that suddenly we're going to get thousands of people asking for documents. I know we are going to get people asking for documents because I was asked for them today, an overwhelming, like January to June, all the documents I've ever written to anybody to have anything to do with, select board by a former select board member. So I know those things might happen, but I don't think, to me, it's not as though everybody in town is suddenly going to be requiring public documentation. This is a one-off. I don't believe that by satisfying this one person, we're going to somehow unleash a huge amount of extra effort on behalf of our town employees. I've been pretty consistent in saying this. I think we should be generous and get it over with. Instead, we're fighting. And we're fighting because we said no. And now we've said that again, and we're working ourselves right into another lawsuit. Sure as, shooting. And we're spending a lot of money to get there. And once we get there, then we're going to have to defend against a lawsuit. So where does this end? It's ridiculous. It's just nuts. To me, yes.
The town don't know why we're fighting it, nor have they given us permission.
No.
Given us that responsibility to make those choices. And
Not without being told what they are. It's not a carte blanche.
it kind of is. Yeah.
Thank
We've been elected to represent their interests. Maybe I'm wrong. Allowing input, yeah, but.
Nobody wants this.
Right.
No,
That's true.
That's true.
We can make it go away. I had a set of motions that were ignored a few weeks ago that were designed to make it go away. And we ignored them, completely ignored them, and went into an extra executive session instead.
And did we find out anything that we didn't know before?
No.
I would say yes. For us, you may have had
I don't,
more.
I didn't think so, but I respect that you found out things you want to know.
Right.
Another comment.
Thank you.
Please keep it.
Yeah, very quickly. I understand your fear about where will this end? Who's going to keep asking for all this stuff? Remember that what triggered Mr. Katucki's lawsuit was evidence that you had violated the law. And so he said, I'd like to see all the documents behind that to ascertain if that's so and to understand how it came to be. And you don't deny that you violated the law. You had this chain quorum in which you talked about substance and so on, and you didn't do it in public. So just people aren't going to overwhelm you with requests for records just for the hell of it. They're going to do it because they think there's something there that they need to understand better. And so I would just don't think you're opening Pandora's box here. And between the two of you, you know, did they give us permission? Do the people have to give us permission? I think Rob's right. They've given us permission by electing us. And with that comes the duty to do what, in your judgment, is the best. And you must do that in public so people can see how you're exercising your judgment. You can't do it in private because how will anybody know what you decided on our behalf? Thanks.
Thank you, John.
Further discussion? Okay, we have a motion, it's been seconded. I guess we vote. And the motion was made by Clausen, seconded by Griggs. Clausen,
Yay.
Layton,
No,
Here,
No.
and Griggs, is a yes, so it does not pass. I move to instruct the town council to file with the court a motion for summary judgment wherein the court disallows elements of Mr. Katucki's Form A 2026 complaint, the Katucki versus Town of Norwich.
Second.
Discussion?
Priscilla Vincent, I don't know what this means. What do you mean disallow?
I'm restating something that we should have decided following.
What does it mean? It
Plan
means,
B to solve.
it means what?
Plan B to solve the impasse.
Which is, we unredact everything and give him everything he asked, or what? I don't know what this means.
We,
Read it again.
I'm feeling what we might have done when we came out of executive session the first time.
So you disallow, what are you disallowing?
I'm moving to instruct town council to file with the court a motion for summary judgment wherein the court disallows elements of Mr. Katucki's Form A 2026 complaint. In other words, we're asking to file a court motion that disallows, that would, if the court pleases, it would disallow many of the things that Mr. Katucki is asking for.
I mean, it would say he can't have them.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. That's what I was wondering.
It's been moved, it's been seconded. Any further discussion? All right, let's vote on that. Clausen.
Nay.
Layton.
abstain.
Abstain. Year.
Yes.
And I'm a no. It fails. Interesting. I further move to authorize the town council to engage with plaintiff to seek a negotiated settlement of the notification of OML violation filed by Mr. Katucki on the 9th of April, 2026.
Please repeat.
I move to authorize town council to engage with plaintiff to seek a negotiated settlement of the notification of OML violation filed by Mr. Katucki on the 9th of April, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm not sure where this fits into the legal process, the scenario, the timeline.
This
It's
is
extremely confusing. I understand the wish to, get things moving and get this resolved, but I'm confused by it. So I'm not going to support this at this point. This is getting very confusing.
okay. This is what we came out of the second session having decided. So this is what we might have said in public session had we.
Right, but I'm just finding this very confusing, so I won't be supportive.
Yes.
Priscilla Vincent, I think I understand this one, and I certainly hope that you reject it, because I think you should give Mr. Katucki everything unredacted, and that is an option that has not yet been presented.
Further discussion? Charlotte Metcalf.
I agree with Priscilla that we should give
Thank you.
Katucki. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I would
All
agree
right,
with Priscilla. Thank you.
thank you. Okay, your hand is still up.
What's on?
Your hand is still
Oh,
up.
I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
I haven't done this in a while. Thank you.
We're waiting back. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have a motion. I move to authorize town council to engage with plaintiff to seek a negotiated settlement. Notification of OML violation filed by Mr. Katucki on the 9th of April, 2026.
I second.
Any further, it's been seconded. Do we have any further discussion?
If,
Let's go.
well, yeah, no, if that negotiation included the possibility of giving him unredacted information, if that's one of the possibilities, I'm fine with that. It's like, tell the lawyer to negotiate a settlement that has give and take on all sides.
Let's vote. Klassen.
Yay.
Clayton.
Abstain.
Here.
Yes.
I'm a no. Don't have a quorum of yeas, so also fails. Okay, so both motions fail. These are the motions that we could have made coming out of executive session. I will I'll write a memo tomorrow stating what I believe this means. Okay, I'm sorry, we have commentary here apparently in between before we move on.
I just want to thank you for all your hard work. And just, yes, I think you started to say, I think it's very important to notify the attorney very promptly, lest he otherwise thinks he's supposed to be negotiating with Mr. Katucki about the notices of violations, and he's not, you've said. And lest he think that he's supposed to be doing something about the court case, and he's not, according to how you voted. But now the ball's back in your court, baby, because you got, what, 2 weeks or so to give the court an answer. So, good luck with that. I mean that sincerely.
Yeah. Mr. Chair?
Okay, yes,
We may need another meeting next Wednesday
we may.
in view of the time crunch.
Let's, okay,
Think about it.
let's absorb all this and see, let's move on and see if we can get out of here tonight. Number 14 AP warrants, so would anyone like to move this?
I move to approve AP warrant number 1497 in the amount of $235,961.52 to be paid from the general fund. AP warrant number 1498 in the amount of $4,423.36 to be paid from the fire equipment fund 26. AP warrant number 1499 in the amount of $150,000 to be paid from the DPW Bridge Fund number 41. And finally, AP warrant number 1500 in the amount of $2,552.82 to be paid from the general fund.
I'll second it.
Any conversation? Yes. Discussion, I mean, not conversation.
Oldenburg, Town Treasurer. one of your warrants tonight that Mr. Beer just moved is number 1500, which is the payment back in June of the credit card balance. So you are essentially approving a disbursement that's already occurred a month ago. I went back and researched the minutes of the meeting of April 8th, where the discussion of the credit card was talked about in length. And the gist of that meeting was to, on occasion as needed, electronically pay the credit card balance. And I am familiar with what has to occur for that to happen. The reason I'm bringing it up is because in 2 days, that balance is due again, and you do not have in front of you a warrant to approve the next balance that's going to be paid. This has become the routine and not the exception to paying these expenses. And you all have given the chair and the vice chair permission to sign off-cycle warrants. So there is no reason for this to be coming to you all a month later for approval after it's been, already the funds have been dispersed and expenses have been paid. And so I would like to work with you to resolve this delay in this process and get back on track of the select board approving prior to the payment of bills, which is what the statutes require.
Did we used to do that? Is this a new thing?
I'm sorry, I'm not clear on your question.
Did we used to pay the credit? Is this being done differently than it used to be, or is this simply because we're using a credit card now that we weren't using before?
So the warrant in front of you, number 1500, is paying expenses charged to the credit
I
card.
understand, but is this a new thing that you're talking about? Has this been going on for a long time?
No, this is evolving from, I'm certain, the April meeting where it was discussed that it might need to be paid electronically versus with a check because of timing.
Okay.
But it seems to be continuing to be the rule and not the exception for payment. And you've previously at a meeting signed warrants that were a month old. So I'd like to get back on track with a warrant that approves the expenses prior to payment as the statutes require. That would be my request.
Sounds very reasonable. The town manager, do you have any, is there any reason this wouldn't work, what's being asked?
Yeah, we had a full discussion about all of this in April.
Yeah.
Which Cheryl was against at that time, and I can only assume is now trying to circumvent the decision that was made in April by the board.
Okay, well, that wasn't my question.
That's what I'm
Okay. Are there reasons that this can't work?
What can't work?
What she's suggesting, which is that we see the charges before we pay them.
I don't think it can work out. There's a timing issue of having to pay a credit card bill. Most of these charges have been expended by the time you sign this warrant. I'm not aware of a concern here that's ever been shared before about signing off on payments that have been made. It's done continually.
Okay.
I'd like to respond.
Please.
First of all, I am not objecting to a process. I am objecting to it being done before your board approves them. And as I mentioned, it is my understanding that on the 10th of July, there'll be another payment made electronically, that somebody on this board has authority to approve a warrant with one item, just like this warrant is, before Friday's payment is made.
You're suggesting that I come in, for example, and look at it and sign it.
Exactly, that's the statutory process. I'm not clear what Brennan is saying or how he understood what I just said. And I mentioned the discussion, but in that discussion in the minutes, which reflect a portion of it, it was to happen on occasion.
Oh, I understand. So I guess this is the question. Would that work for me to come in and sign
In
off?
April, we talked about this in detail. We all decided that it wasn't necessary for the board to have off-cycle warrants to make the payments for the credit cards, that we were going to make those payments, and they were going to show up retroactively for their approval.
Yeah, I
We agreed to
understand.
that. I don't know why we would necessarily need to change that.
I don't know either, but my question is, would it work if we were to do that? Would it be
It
possible?
would not work, I don't think.
Why?
Okay,
There is nothing in the minutes to verify what the town manager just said.
all right. Yeah.
Okay? It is stated in the minutes.
Okay, could you do me a favor and write a memo to us stating what you are doing so that we can,
Well, I'm trying to follow statute.
yeah.
So once again, state law
Yeah.
should prevail.
I get it.
And
I don't remember in detail the conversation from April, but I'm just asking questions.
Well, I think a proactive increase of line of sight on expenditure to the select board helps us.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, yeah.
Is it causing injury or impediment? I don't know.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Okay, you'll issue a memo and we can take it from there. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
But
All right,
ask a question. When the bills come in from the credit card, those expenses, what time of the month do they come in? That usually is the same day every month.
if the statement arrives, and I'm guessing the statement has the individual charges listed like your statement for credit card charges, anybody's would. So your statement comes in, you have a certain amount of time to pay it. Yeah, and there's a due date. I'm not going to say I know that time frame, but if you need to pay it electronically, because cutting a check will not be quick enough.
Right.
I understand this, and we worked together to sort it out in April. Then the electronic payment needs to be done. It just needs to go on a warrant, have one of the authorized individuals approve that warrant for that disbursement of funds from our town accounts, just statutorily required. It's,
Minimize the risk of a late fee.
well, you want to do
And if you on
that.
someone's credit score, which was the point in
And
April.
okay.
I'm not saying we shouldn't do these things, but
No
what I'm
brainer.
saying is we
In
need to
the
get,
interest of time, if we could get a memo that we could look at and understand this,
yeah.
that would be
Does
great.
that answer your question, what I'm saying?
No. I mean, I'm just wondering if we get a statement from the credit card company, do we have to pay it electronically before it would have time to reach the select board meeting?
Well, that was the discussion that occurred, and that was the discussion that was had. So the option was, when that occurs, let's get it done electronically so that it's done before there's any late charges, which, or, you know, a delay, because it also, nobody can use the card if it's not paid. But the motion from the select board wasn't to just start doing this electronically every time and then approve it a month later after we've paid all these expenses. We got to kind of get this shift back into what you're doing tonight, is approving warrants with checks that come to me next, now that you've approved it. Follow
The
that,
memo outlining what we might.
It's almost like a sort of a policy, right?
kind of a statutory one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Put the statute in the memo.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. We have a motion that's been seconded. Do we have any further discussion? No, let's vote. Clausen.
Just remind me this motion. The warrants, yes. Aye.
Clayton.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
That's not here, and I'm a yes. Terrific. Thank you very much. We've got receipt of correspondence, an invitation to a select board meetup Thursday, July 30th, to discuss shared services and regional collaboration. Was received from Ari Latanzi of Two Rivers Ottaquechee Regional Commission. I intend to go. I don't know if anybody else would like to join me. Interesting group. It's sort of a unique opportunity because you can talk about anything you want to because you're not in a quorum with your own select board. So you're like with this super select board and you can, well, say things you wouldn't be able to say. No, and finding out the shared concerns, super interesting to me the first time I went. There are a lot of concerns that towns have that we just don't, or if we do, they're sort of undercover. And we talk about regionalism, like how we could find town sand pits and things like that, which are really complicated in Vermont, it turns out. So it's very interesting. So anyway, if you'd like to go, please let me know. We shouldn't have three of us, or three of us sit at different tables anyway. Kevin Geiger, also of Two Rivers, wrote a cover letter with attachments describing a draft 2026 regional plan, a memo and changes of the regional future land use map with general and scaled maps from Norwich, and a hearing notice with 4 future formal hearing dates in Bethel, Bradford, White River Junction, and Woodstock, Vermont. In addition, information sessions will be held in Randolph, Fairleigh, and Woodstock. Also included is a checklist on conformance with state planning goals and regional planning elements, their checklist on regional determination of energy compliance, and a memo on tier 1A and 1B. Ari Latanzi of Three Rivers sent another missive thanking us for all we do in our communities and making us aware of a number of resources related to grants. Finally, John Carroll sent a letter with his thoughts about the Katucki lawsuit against the town and how the select board might act. That's the end of correspondence. Yeah, would anyone like to move to accept correspondence?
I move to receive all correspondence.
Second.
Who got that one?
Any discussion? No, good. Let's vote. Klassen.
Aye.
And Layton.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
No sweat. I'm a yes.
No swell.
No, sweat.
Has to be a student nickname.
Discussion of our next select board agenda. I know we have a,
Public hearing at that time? The public hearing?
public hearing is next. Yep.
Term rentals.
And Stephen True is going to provide me some verbiage to use to introduce the hearing and so on. I think it should be quick. Is there anything else on the select board agenda that you're?
I was wondering when we might hear from the Tracy Hall Working Group.
So we are sort of going in circles, but progressing, I would say. And it's been pretty interesting. And the group's gotten a little larger and some really interesting ideas.
I don't want to rush you guys.
No. The point is to rush and get the ideas and put a report together. And I think we said it within 6 months, and I think we'll make that. Yeah, it's interesting. Anything else? Discussion of select board agenda, are we done? I know you're waiting.
My brain is full.
No, I know you're
Know the
waiting.
feeling, right?
We need one more motion.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second it.
Vote. Klassen.
Aye.
Layton.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Sweat and Griggs is a yes. Done. Thank you very much. Thank you for your
Recording stopped.
at 9:48 p.m.
Zelda?
Did you hear that?